Don't ask them who this is, I bet they know what I'm moving in. I bet I show it into a dim. How you hate and then lose again? How you hating my vibes? Why you wasting my time? Getting hype on my line. Tell a man I don't want feedback, I just want relax. Brand new whip, two-tone, I need that brand new hit. You know, like lean back, brand new bits I live in. We pack, man, you never gon' like us. Get them on sight now, let them on light. That way they know I'm more righteous. Look at my life, I'm living alright. I'm nice, you know I'm alright. Cause looking like Christ, no need for the hype or fight or telephone vipers. No need for the telephone vipers. No need for the liars. I don't watch your moves or priors. I got much to do, I'm biased. Big bosses move in silence, watch it. No need for the liars. I don't watch your moves or priors. I got much to do, I'm biased. Big bosses move in silence. Yeah, me, I'm moving quiet. Ask me, I need me an island. New watch is perfect timing. No need for the surface shining. Ask me, I need me a few. I need me an island, I'm keeping it true. The man, I'm a wild, I'm keeping it cool. No need for the telephone hype from you. Yeah, tell a man no trouble. I don't want beef, man, I just want vibes. Big man like me, no need for the telephone hype. I got too much getting online. One rule, then I'm on side. Wrong move, I bet they gon' ride. No need for the telephone hype, yeah. Tell a man no trouble. I don't want beef, man, I just want vibes. Big man like me, no need for the telephone hype. I got too much getting online. One rule, then I'm on side. Wrong move, I bet they gon' ride. No need for the telephone hype, yeah. Tell a man no trouble, I don't want beef, man, I just want vibes. Big man like me, no need for the telephone hype. I got too much getting online. One rule, then I'm on side. Wrong move, I bet they gon' ride. No need for the telephone hype, nah.
And you know this. He be riding on the wave, I ain't got a lot to say. Mine's heavy, give me space. Pine's ready, let me blaze. Spend money, what I waste. Times money, money pays. You ain't ready for the 8th. She ain't ready for the 8th. He be riding on the wave, I ain't got a lot to say. Mine's heavy, give me space. Pine's ready, let me blaze. Spend money, what I waste. Times money, money pays. You ain't ready for the 8th. She ain't ready for the 8th. Mad as savage, me back and I'm back and it happening, ready to blow. I remember doing deeds with Deji from the street, they left me on my own. Monkey asking me about how I got the P, I told her leave him mama grown. Then they're ringing off my phone, then they're ringing off my phone. Times change, but mine's made up. I ain't got line patience, tried then, don't like bait. Let's come close, but I swear that went ghost with a hair pack. Never boast loud, get your bird whacked in my condo where I birth tracks with a gang. Catch that for the gram, snap that for the man. These dudes do the most, no money in the hand. I ain't never had to feel away, rhyme steady and they feel the way. Occupation make it either way, never worry cause I can. Back chat from the whack gang, took charge when they sack man. Passport when a milestone, make space when the bags land. This must be a daydream, Max got me the mad plan. My team never lied on, due a visit from the facts man. He be riding on the wave, I ain't got a lot to say. Mine's heavy, give me space. Pine's ready, let me blaze. Spend money, what I waste. Times money, money pays. You ain't ready for the 8th. She ain't ready for the 8th. He be riding on the wave, I ain't got a lot to say. Mine's heavy, give me space. Pine's ready, let me blaze. Spend money, what I waste. Times money, money pays. You ain't ready for the 8th. She ain't ready for the 8th. Fake clothes, same watch, fake crepe, same fucks, fake squad, say lots, but flop ain't what I'm on. Aim up, don't stop, we beat leveling. Proceeds increase heavily, don't need this man's energy. I be the one, beat the one. I don't make a song to make a song, and the vibe is right. The mic will let me on to the sounds I light up. I spit the strong in the line and pick me first before I'm gone. I ain't straight sicker with the wordplay. Syllables spin, I don't fidget when I burst straight. Minimal talk when I work late. Fuck what you think by my work rate. Celebrate wins like a birthday. This is 3-6, got a mean list of the tracks. You man busy sleeping when I brainstorm as a plan. Linked Andy on the underground, I don't even have to ask. Miss laughing with my brother now, I ain't talking about Dan. Catch up when he lands, snapshot with the fam. KL did a madness, back soon going ham. Come see how we ride out, short change, but we smile proud. Been blazed for a while now, stay ready for the jam. He be riding on the wave, I ain't got a lot to say. Mine's heavy, give me space. Pines ready, let me blaze. Spent money, what a waste. Times money, money pays. You ain't ready for the 8th, she ain't ready for the 8th. He be riding on the wave, I ain't got a lot to say. Mine's heavy, give me space. Pines ready, let me blaze. Spent money, what a waste. Times money, money pays. You ain't ready for the 8th, she ain't ready for the 8th.
Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I blow soon, soon. Knew as a child, back in the womb. Oh, told her step back, I need my broom, vroom. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom. I'm in a whip, so I gotta zoom. They tryna talk, they not in the room. I've been so real, I'm dead to the tomb. They in the way, they gotta move. I got a gas, they running on fumes. Told them way back, it's something new. It's me and Dan, you gotta choose. I'm taking what's mine, I'm doing fine. Don't see the vision, they looking so blind. I hit my lawyer, I don't got the time. Crossing my T's and he dotting those eyes. Don't take offense if I do not oblige. I can't relate with like none of these guys. They hit me once and I'm cutting the ties. I was so low, but I'm back on the rise, it's real. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I blow soon, soon. Knew as a child, back in the womb. Oh, told her step back, I need my broom, vroom. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom. I'm hopping now I gotta go. I'm looking back, they not even close. I had a 4, now I need a ghost. I got a wave like I'm on the coast. Same ones are doubting, I dare the show. So way that I'm ballin', they think I'm a pro. I'm getting sick by the money I gross. They saying whoa, I told them all what this is. I told them all I don't miss. Said it's my time, look at this shit on my wrist. And when they shooting this breaks, I'm going in a new gear, gotta shift. I cannot stick to the script, I cannot wait. Watch how I get it and flip. It's just how I'm doing this shit and I'm gone. Just how I'm doing this shit and I'm gone. Ayy, just how I'm doing this shit and I'm gone.
Hand on the game, we are not playing the same. No, we not looking to change. Hand on the wheel, they think we lacking the drive. Boy, you should stay in your lane. Foot on the gas, I do not care if I crash, long as I stick to the plan. What is the plan? I cannot lie for none of you, long as I know who I am. I'm in control, God got his hand on my soul. And if I land and he got the remote, made it as far as a miracle, miracle. Anything less is cynical, cynical. Staying true, I can't lie in your interview. Tell the truth while you lie with your interview. And your acting is so hypocritical. In control, nothing more, this is minimum. Can't stop now, I'ma grind till I'm ghost. I thank God how he held me down the most. Can't stop now, gotta grind till I'm ghost. Gotta thank God how he held me down the most.
Got the whole team on my back. I ain't worried about no stats. No time to compete with so-and-so. No time to compete with so-and-so. I ain't got a brag when I'm in my bag. No, no, no. Been through a lot, don't know the half. No, no, no. When I'm on drive, never lose control. Hand on the game, never lose control. It ain't my fault that I'm in control. When I'm on drive, never lose control.
On a mission, on the move, gotta go, no, no. Ain't no time to waste my time, we don't slow down. You can have me in dimensions, big dog in dimensions. We be aiming for the fences, I'm in a different dimension. Why y'all be riding the benches? Y'all could just cut through the tension. Graduated from the trenches, no cap and gone. I ain't never need a handout, on my 2 feet, I'ma stand out. I ain't never take a loss now, ain't gon' start now, at the top now, and I know. Can't stop now, I'ma grind till I'm ghost. I thank God how he held me down the most. Can't stop now, gotta grind till I'm ghost. Gotta thank God how he held me down the most.
Got the whole team on my back. I ain't worried about no stats. No time to compete with so-and-so. No time to compete with so-and-so. I ain't got a brag when I'm in my bag. No, no, no. Been through a lot, don't know the half. No, no, no. When I'm on drive, never lose control. Hand on the game, never lose control. It ain't my fault that I'm in control. When I'm on drive, never lose control.
love, triple love. Ay, 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 ay. I done did a lot, but it's not enough. Think it's time I run it up. Double love, triple love. Whoa, 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 ay, whoa, 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 ay. Hit women fall in love with my appearance. Got these diamonds on me dancing, look like Michael Jackson sequence. Whoa, 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 ay, whoa, 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 ay. I be getting money with my eyes closed. She gon' through the iPhone. Devil wears Prada and she sold her soul. She gon' for free, treat my just like a promo code. Walk up in the spot, they got my records. I might take your chick if I catch you slacking on your pimp and stand behind these bars like a life sentence. My gift is a present, I've been rapping like it's Christmas, damn. Damn, forgive me, Lord, I'm the man. The man, don't think these understand, don't understand. Yeah, I got money we can spend. Duffel bag of rubber bands, get it poppin' like. Cause I done did a lot, but it's not enough. Think it's time I run it up. Double love, triple love. Whoa, 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 ay. Whoa, 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 ay. Hit women fall in love with my appearance. Got these diamonds on me dancing, look like Michael Jackson sequence. Whoa, 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 ay. Whoa, 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 ay. I done made a lot, but it's not enough. Think it's time I double up. Think I need a Bentley truck. Think I need a house in the hills. That's for real. Like my car left to rail. Restructured the booking deal, cause we back. Yeah, we back on the road. Private jet across the globe. Let me everywhere I go. 10K for the verse, 20K for the show. Put in work and it shows. You ain't know, now you know. Now you know. Green light shawty, she a go. She a go. Miles Davis saxophone, how she blow. I can good, but then I gotta go. Yeah, that's just the way it goes. Yeah, that's just the way it. Cause I done did a lot, but it's not enough. Think it's time I run it up. Double love, triple love. Whoa, 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 ay. Whoa, 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 ay. Hit women fall in love with my appearance. Got these diamonds on me dancing, look like Michael Jackson sequence. Whoa, 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 ay. Whoa, 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 ay.
Hey, freedom is ours. Woo! Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Freedom is ours. You know, fist up, we got power. Woo! Hey, say it again, man. Freedom is ours. Fist up in the air. Who got the power? You know. Hey, say it again. Freedom is ours. We got the power. We gonna make it. This thing ours. Ooh. We're gonna squeeze that laminator, sweet or sour. We got the room shaking. That be the mood breaker. You better move, break. You say it, man. Freedom is ours. I tell my brothers to never relent. Black skin, you ain't gotta pretend. Gotta give it like 100%. Do more, give 110. Freedom is ours, huh? I gotta leave in an hour, huh? I had to meet with the powers, huh? They wanna give or allow it. We gotta take it. But brace yourself. It's water we had. Got a bottle, then pour me a glass. Take a seat when I talk to the class. Look at their faces, all of them mad. But some of you gotta relax. You said we went up to the task, now we just laugh. Freedom is ours. You know, fist up, we got power. Woo! Hey, say it again, man. Freedom is ours. Fist up in the air. Who got the power? You know. Hey, say it again. Freedom is ours. We got the power. We gonna make it. This thing ours. Ooh. We're gonna squeeze that laminator, sweet or sour. We got the room shaking. That be the mood breaker. You better move, break. You say it, man. Freedom is ours. Yeah, for far too long, sitting so quiet. Now it's looking like David Goliath, fighting the giants, killing the tyrant, ducking the sirens. I don't care if my account is sitting in minus. I got the Midas touch. Enemies better line them up. Fight fair, nah, I'll up. Woo! There isn't a plan B, plan A only. Take the fight to their place, tell it to their face. Freedom is what they owe me. They know me cause I'm shaking the room up. And nothing is too much. Take a trip, then I cool off. Let's do lunch. Freedom is ours. You know, fist up, we got power. Woo! Hey, say it again, man. Freedom is ours. Fist up in the air. Who got the power? You know. Hey, say it again. Freedom is ours. We got the power. We gonna make it. This thing ours. Ooh. We're gonna
I've been going hard in the paint. I've been in the gym every day. Whole lot of wins on the way. Bossed up, feeling like I can't lose. Pulling up and don't hesitate. Gotta make a move, make a play. We don't fall off, levitate. Bossed up, feeling like I can't lose.
No, I can't lose. Higher power, make sure that couldn't happen. Sure. Flashing the way I flick the wrist, you think I broke it on the basket. Ask them, they'll tell you I sent that boy home on a mattress. Pass it if you can't clutch, I'll rev up and catch it. Like how I slid on out, cause he was acting savage. Talking about, let's see how you starring films with action, or I'll put cheese on your plate and let them wolves get at you. You can't stop me in the paint, I got too many badges, boy. If you afraid of fire, then stop like matches. Put that heat up on your chest and colorize your passion. She in love with how my diamonds look, they gotta dance. You know I can't never lose, I'll put my team up in that man. Yeah.
I've been going hard in the paint. I've been in the gym every day. Whole lot of wins on the way. Bossed up, feeling like I can't lose. Pulling up and don't hesitate. Gotta make a move, make a play. We don't fall off, levitate. Bossed up, feeling like I can't lose.
I've been running up the play through the back door. Feel like Shaq when he snapping, broke the backboard. Work hard, play hard, yeah, we been there. I was down for a minute, get my lick back. Give me the game, I got plenty, give me a wave. Triple the stakes, told him I don't never play. I mean, Ruth Chris, told him we was too lit. Give me the toothpick, picking out the players, Told him I wasn't even levels, it was layers, I can tell the way you talk that you a hater. You ain't never made a play with the guys. I've been in my own lane, made a wave on a high tide.
I've been going hard in the paint. I've been in the gym every day. Whole lot of wins on the way. Bossed up, feeling like I can't lose. Pulling up and don't hesitate. Gotta make a move, make a play. We don't fall off, levitate. Bossed up, feeling like I can't lose.
Dominate the game like we supposed to. Dodging all lanes like we supposed to. I just run the play like we supposed to. Gotta run it all like we supposed to.
Hey, it's light work. Just looking at the wrist of the ice work. All this shit on me, like bust down. Shock him out the clutch and then bust down. She don't love me, she just want me for the team, I know. At the draw, on the pick, I'm that one lotto. Got that rocket and that power auto. You want air, break the draw, gotta stay on auto. Mad it, all the wins at it. Need a new patty, cause the time costs. Then the bag ain't free like it's MK. I got that new kick gang, got that sensei since day. Don't believe us, we just gotta show 'em. Got a whole game prepped up, got 'em like it's loaded. Oh, they got it backwards like it's Yoda. On track, got speed, it's a locomotive, hey.
Dominate the game like we supposed to. Dodging all lanes like we supposed to. I just run the play like we supposed to. Gotta win it all like we supposed to. Dominate the game like we supposed to. Dodging all lanes like we supposed to. I just run the play like we supposed to. Gotta win it all like we supposed to.
Dominate the game like we supposed to. I'm just staying in my lane and I'm supposed to. Be 100 ain't a thing, I ain't checking for no lames. Only gang with the dudes that I'm close to. I don't ride a wave, I just float through. Drawing up the plays like a coach do. Come against the team, better pray like the Pope do. Cause we'll turn your little beef into tofu. We tryna rise to the top. Real recognize you ain't squad, you the op. Drip on wall paint, feeling like the greats. Appetite jumping and you looking like a plate. Team on 3, no fail when we break. Lombardi is the only L's that we take. Tap the pylon, then we all celebrate. Then it's back to the huddle, time to cook another play.
Dominate the game like we supposed to. Dodging all lanes like we supposed to. I just run the play like we supposed to. Gotta win it all like we supposed to. Dominate the game like we supposed to. Dodging all lanes like we supposed to. I just run the play like we supposed to. Gotta win it all like we supposed to. Dominate the game like we supposed to. Dodging all lanes like we supposed to. I just run the play like we supposed to. Gotta win it all like we supposed to.
Yeah. Okay. Take us, you save us, man. The money will never change us, man. Change us, man. Yeah. Nobody can save you but you. Believe in them schemes if you want to. Self-motivation is a virtue. And the lack of that can truly hurt you. I just want to give you the tools to thrive in a world so cold against you and I ain't perfect, nowhere near it. But I will share what was shared with me when I didn't want to hear it. Law of attraction, yeah, thoughts become things. So monitor what you think about it does bring good and bad vibes to fruition. I can lead you the truth, but I can't make you listen. No. It takes us to save us. The money will never change us. We gon' do what we major. Gotta grind till the take all the pain away. It takes us to save us. The money will never change us. We gon' do what we major. Yeah. Gotta grind till it take all the pain away. And that's all facts, that's raw rap. Pushing buckets, still trying to find my way to the lab. Pushing my pen, still trying to get rich off rap. Pissed off at the oversaturation of that. Passionate about the craft, throwing away the trash. Tunnel vision with this, hoping that I don't crash. Planning for my success, only thing keep me stressed. Gotta do it the best, nothing more, nothing less. Never with the fugazi, try to play me, I'm cool. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I'm a fool. Calculating my moves, execute with precision, separating myself, gotta keep it consistent. Nothing too heavy to lift, no mountain too high to climb. Exceed expectations every time I write a rhyme. You see it, this what hard work look like. We don't know failure, out of mind, out of sight. Like it takes us to save us. The money will never change us. We gon' do what we major. Gotta grind till it take all the pain away. It takes us to save us. The money will never change us. We gon' do what we major. Gotta grind till it take all the pain away.
Tell the waitress start another round. Millie on my wrist, I bust it down. King in my city, wear the crown. Got a check, need another now. I can never get enough. Woo. Yeah, that's right. I can never get enough. Come on, woo. I can never get enough. You couldn't get money, need a new set. Try to go again, session, need a new bet. Been here 10 summers, boy, and I ain't lose yet. Cause I can never get enough. Jordan for my team, I'm LeBron in my city. Way ahead of these man, I could pop a Willie. Gunning these 7 figures if we gon' sign a dilly. Red, white, yellow, brown, I got them by the plenty, woo! Just the definition of success. Did it back to back, that's repetition with the steps. Pushing up the work, I could do 100 reps. 5-star general, I'm about to pull up in the vet. Had a couple zeros, had to add another 4. Started with the product, turned that into a store. My 15 minutes turned into an encore. Got an in, but I ain't stopping till I go get me some more. Woo! Tell the waitress, start another round. Millie on my wrist, I bust it down. King in my city, wear the crown. Got a check, need another now. I can never get enough. Woo! Yeah, that's right. I can never get enough. Come on, woo! I can never get enough. You couldn't get money, need a new set. Try to go again, session, need a new bet. Been here 10 summers, boy, and I ain't lose yet. Cause I can never get enough. Yeah, we been going up on a Tuesday. I'm Bruce Lee, turn your ego into souffle. Feel new, that pop bottles of Douce with my real new. That's down south like Bousse. Turn the VIP into the projects. Don't pay attention to the goals that y'all set. I'm out in Bali, girl from Somali. Put her in a ring and I'ma hit her with the ollie. Started up the business, turned that into a car. Used to work the lobby, moved it up a couple floors. Views of the hood, turned that into the shore. I just made another M, I gotta go get me some more. Tell the waitress, start another round. Millie on my wrist, I bust it down. King in my city, wear the crown. Got a check, need another now. I can never get enough. Woo! Yeah, that's right. I can never get enough. Come on, woo! I can never get enough. You couldn't get money, need a new set. Try to go again, session, need a new bet. Been here 10 summers, boy, and I ain't lose yet. Cause I can never get enough. Competition. I don't see no competition. Come with us, you know we in it. You on the wrong side if you try and win. I don't see no competition. I don't see no competition. Tried to block it, had to find another route. Bounce back, had to counsel a lot of doubters. Champion taking champagne showers, oh my. And they wish that they could live it. 6 rings, boy, they wish that they could win them. 6 rings, boy, they sweating trying to get them. About to take it all the way up to the max, so you know. Here I am. Yeah, I don't see no competition. I don't see no competition. Come with us, you know we in it. You on the wrong side if you try and win. I don't see no competition. I don't see no competition. Come with us, you know we in it. You on the wrong side if you try and win. Knock, knock, coming in, here I am. Chop, chop, time to come up off the land. I don't think there's no more room up at the top, but we got plenty of room for you to watch. Feature and I make it back home by dinner. Money cover more miles than a sprinter. Yeah, what you think I'm a beginner? Nah, I ain't no beginner. Ooh, that's what they be saying when I move. I don't really think that we can lose. Ain't nobody else up in my view. No, in my view. Yeah. I don't see no competition. I don't see no competition. Come with us, you know we in it. You on the wrong side if you try and win. I don't see no competition. I don't see no competition. Come with us, you know we in it. You on the wrong side if you try and win. You on the wrong side if you try and win. You on the wrong side if you try and win.
Run 'em up, run 'em up. I run with some goons, they pulling up. Looking for a problem, ooh, that's us. We get on the field and run 'em up, ayy, run 'em up, run 'em up. I run with some goons, they pulling up. Looking for a problem, ooh, that's us.
Yeah.
We get on the field and run 'em up,
okay,
ayy.
I can't deny this. I'm still in make you turn over your treasure like a pirate. No, it don't matter what party you part of, you not invited. Yes, I got my goons, but I'm gobbling them entirely. I'm a monster, I'll eat my own just to keep up my diet. You don't wanna get hit with the blade of a chopper. Come around again and no options. Looking at trophies like which one is up for adoption? Felon in love, got no conscience. What in God's name, nothing accomplished. Just a feeling your team is about to be feeling. When I come take everything from you, I'm bombing. My team is hard body, bulletproof chest with a K-bone. We from a planet, the only one that got A's on them. My team got trophies and medals for rolling tanks on them. I'm rocking them Stone Cold Undertaker and Kane, homie.
Run 'em up, run 'em up. I run with some goons, they pulling up. Looking for a problem, ooh, that's us. We get on the field and run 'em up, ayy, run 'em up, run 'em up. I run with some goons, they pulling up. Looking for a problem, ooh, that's us. We get on the field and run 'em up, ayy.
Ain't no breaks, we a 4-5 series. I'm a dog, got that K9 in me. Count the calls, y'all boys worth no pennies. Who else like us? I don't see none any. New girl back in the way. All place that rotate. Y'all seem gon' locate. I ain't catch no win of that. Snap pass and I run it back, and they young man is a running back. Oh, ain't no holding back, so here I go. Gas like BPA, out my way. Play too smart with a GPA. Keep it brief like a black suitcase, and there ain't no time. Hold up, it's too late. Ah man, we ball hog no ham, and I know it ain't fair, but we just do not care, and now y'all staring while we
run 'em up, run 'em up. I run with some goons, they pulling up. Looking for a problem, ooh, that's us. We get on the field and run 'em up, ayy, run 'em up, run 'em up. I run with some goons, they pulling up. Looking for a problem, ooh, that's us. We get on the field and run 'em up, ayy.
Yeah. Went and beat the odds, they thought I was insane. They was sleeping on me, they was sleeping on me. Went and beat the odds, they thought I was insane. They was sleeping on me, I was meeting Ben Frank.
I've been tying to my ends, booking flights, setting trend.
I was being bad frame.
I've been tying to my ends, booking flights, setting trend. Stack it up.
Catch me in a two-seater, Grim Reaper, all cash, no visa. Stacking fast, I've started, I had a bill printer, but I cut them out the grass with my weed trimmer. These haters ain't competition, they see me do renditions, no question. Most misled in wrong directions. Eye on the prize, don't try to hide the fake chain. And now watch that tick with no bust down frame. Went and beat the odds, they thought I was insane. They was sleeping on me. Went and beat the odds, they thought I was insane. They was sleeping on me, I was meeting Ben Frank.
I've been tying to my ends, booking flights, setting trend.
I was being Ben Frank.
I've been tying to my ends, booking flights, setting trend. Stack it up.
Why they keep trying to go test me? Know that I'm deadly. Filled up with envy, broke down to pennies. That's when it gets tempting. Get $1 and a dream look product and a double that in the bag with a lack of the P of the tree and then take them back rows quick. On my toes, they like, oh my God, how he fresh and ain't got no job. Piece up on them like bon voyage. So much doubt, but I went and beat the odds. They thought I was insane. They was sleeping on me. Went and beat the odds. They thought I was insane. They was sleeping on me. I was meeting Ben Frank.
I've been tying to my ends, booking flights, setting trend.
I was being Ben Frank.
I've been tying to my ends, booking flights, setting trend. Stack it up.
Wow, yeah, back at it again. Wow, I'm back in the jump. Yeah, that feel like a switch. Yeah, they know I don't miss. Whoa, brought my team with me. Yeah, they know we gon' eat. Whoa, who that with that heat? Oh, that's that RMG.
Back with the team, right back. Crossover lean, Step back for the 3, Get him out the V, Feel like big, 23, MVP of the league. Ball like Jordan, Magic, Burden, 92, this ain't no dream. Got him hooked like a ring, whoa, wait. My whole team, whoa, wait. We don't need no play. Shoot like Z, whoa. Big old teams with the team, head of steam full, ayy. Call for ball, hit the shot, big old rings on the way. Limousine, magazine, cover, moving state to state. In the gym, 24, wanna try, let's set a date. Cause I got a ball forever. Call up the team, we gon' ball together, ayy. Run at the scope from summer to summer, yeah, we wantin' all the pressure.
Wow, yeah, back at it again. Wow, I'm back in the jump. Yeah, that feel like a switch. Yeah, they know I don't miss. Whoa, brought my team with me. Yeah, they know we gon' eat. Whoa, who that with that heat?
Yeah,
that's that RMG.
I need chest, I need bands. Blessings for my friends, that's a switch, I ain't playing. I need rings for my hands, I'm a king, whoa. It's my jeans though. What's in them feet, yo? Wait, look, this my Jackie Chan's. Y'all ain't got my reach. I ball like Kyrie, alright. Know y'all mad at me, okay. Homie say la vida. Word been mad like. Y'all best act right. Say you think I'm that guy. Got you mad tight. Oh nah. Hold the crown like Bron. It just is what it is. Got this ish on lock. Y'all gon' watch me do my dance in this land, la. I ain't married to the game, but to these boys I'm pow.
Wow, yeah, back at it again. Wow, I'm back in the jump. Yeah, that feel like a switch. Yeah, they know I don't miss. Whoa, brought my team with me. Yeah, they know we gon' eat. Whoa, who that with that heat? Oh, that's that RMG.
I'm awake, I'm alive. I am the cake and the prize. I've been feeling energized. I ain't into telling lies. Got a draw like Enterprise. I ain't tripping off of pride. I've been in my bag. I ain't really gotta brag. I was posting on the app. See they getting mad. I be dripping with the swag. I be dripping with the sauce. I don't care what it costs. I might take a loss. That's the price of a boss. I might pull up like a horse. 911 on the Porsche. I've been bowling like a sport. I've been bowling like LeBron. With some women hella fine. I ain't into wasting time. I've been on my grind. I've been trying to shine. Hold up. Better don't stop. Don't stop. Better don't stop. Hold up. Better don't stop. Don't stop. Better don't stop. Hold up. Better don't stop. Don't stop. Better don't stop. Hold up. Better don't stop. Don't stop. Better don't stop. It's that real life Avengers. I be really in the trenches. I done came up off the benches. I be really getting splinters. I ain't tripping off an image. I be rocking something vintage. Pop up with the spinach. I ain't here to let you finish. In the booth, I'm a menace. I'm the truth and the chemist. I be pushing all the limits. I ain't never moving timid. I be really in my bag. I be dripping with the swag. I might pull up like a cab. Something where the birds chirp. I be on the moon. I might mess around the curve earth. I be on the moon. I might mess around the curve earth. I be on the moon. I might mess around the curve earth. I be on the moon. I might mess around the curve earth. I be on the moon, I might mess around the curve. I be on the moon, I might mess around it. Hold up. Better don't stop. Don't stop. Better don't stop. Hold up. Better don't stop. Don't stop. Better don't stop. Hold up. Better don't stop. Don't stop. Better don't stop. Hold up. Better don't stop. Don't stop. Better don't stop. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up.
She said that she hate me, I hate me too. I can always tell when you're lying, girl, you're see-through. All these miles away, yeah, I just wanna see you. Baby, give me good faith, she hit me like seafood. Remember when I saw you, hi, it's nice to meet you. Know my old girl salty, she just wanna be you. I'm a dog, no Monties, I don't wanna leave you. Once you're right here, I just don't wanna mistreat you, no. Cause I've been a douchebag before, baby girl, I don't wanna repeat. She just won't please me, she look in my eyes, told me why are you bleeding? And I don't even know how to answer. I take these drugs to my bladder. She said she noticed a pattern. She say I look gorgeous, I tell her I'm flattered. But I hate my reflection. When I look at you, all I see is perfection. I'm so depressed and I don't know the reason, just wanna feel better. Hate my reflection. When I look at you, all I see is perfection. I'm so depressed and I don't know the reason, just hope I feel better. Don't know the reason, just hope I feel better. I just hope I feel better. You said that you love me, don't know if it's still true. Hate it when you're not here, love it when I'm with you. You say you don't trust me, all the shit we've been through. Why you always upset? I don't really get you, I don't really get you. Why should I always gotta be so stressful? Baby, can you tell me why are you so vengeful? I don't understand you, I can't live without you, but I can't fucking stand you. I'm just so obsessed, I should take better care of myself, but fuck it. Blacked out in public, on that like she upset, but I know she love it. I hate my reflection, when I look at you, all I see is perfection. I'm so depressed and I don't know the reason, just wanna feel better. Hate my reflection, when I look at you, all I see is perfection. I'm so depressed and I don't know the reason, just hope I feel better. Don't know the reason, just hope I feel better. I just hope I feel better.
Some people love me, and they don't even know I have a hard time loving myself. Some people judge me, and they don't even know I have a hard time judging myself. Life gets ugly, but I grab a paintbrush and paint a pretty smile on myself. Mouth stay shut even when I need help. In too deep in the water, Mike Phelps. Swimming lessons, I still got many unanswered questions. Sick of the anger, sick of depression. Wanna be grateful, count your blessings. Just give me my salad, you keep the dressing. Cause I'm cream of the crop, he paid the price, I'm worth a lot. He told me go, why would I stop? Rest on my thoughts, jump off the tire, roll. D'Lo Brown with the frog splash. Leaps of faith, what I call that. If you hit my line for the old me, when I hang up on you, don't call back. I ain't gonna block my blessings, I'd rather block your number. Life taught me so many lessons, Been down bad, never under. That's breath in my lungs. Some people die young, where I come from. Woke up and gave thanks to Father and Son. Filled with the Spirit, I shine like the sun. Ghost in me, but I ain't haunted. Bad vibes, keep them, don't want it. Pride hard to swallow, doggone it. And you were really never my opponent. I'm fighting evil, man, they hearts black. They wanted my life, told them back. Got an itch for sin, can't scratch that. Keep the truth loaded in the black gap. Just know if I said it, I'm in it, and they gon' take it back. Learn the game brighter than my granddaddy's Cadillac. Young man, old song, imagine that. Ain't in my control, gotta pray, let them handle that. God hit my line, get me to play. Roger that, gang torn, you hate like a running back. If you ain't catch everything I said, better run it back. Eating up this beat, break bread, where your sandwich at, y'all? Thought I was done? No, this beat ain't like Kobe, I'm too full. My God, sick old mode, he too cold. I'm skating on beats, froze on with the flow.
Get it live, who can paint that picture? Ain't no way we losing inches. Climb them fences, get bruised up, got stitches. Bring them back to their senses. Know how the game go, checks and payrolls remain the same. No forecast, Eli, baby. Time out, ride out, you can let them hate me. Get along everywhere we go. Don't carry vendettas, doing everything better. Step into the scene and they stuck like leather. Groupies follow me for the green, pause to proceed. But we never lost, trying to be fake. Tell me what it costs. Everything you touch, let's go back to dust. Hating cause you can't be like us, but
just want you to vibe with me. Touch the sky, come fly with me. Be real, don't lie to me. When it's gonna rain, no, bringing it back. You know what it is. Bringing it back, bringing it up.
if you on the dance floor, then you gotta move your feet. People gon' stare, but I don't care. And I know it's only cause they know when we the best. Mike skills don't put me to the test. We don't got time for the rest. Y'all haters is a mess. Give me my props, thinking we gon' stop. All I got is love for those that's riding with me. All these models vibing with me. Say so, please don't max the case low. Rolling that dice, 7 would be nice. Text coming in. Love to see, love to me.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Asus Republic of Gamers, DHL, US Air Force, 1xBet, Monster Energy, and Gaming Malta.
The dizzying heights of Pro League in that intro. Not all the teams can make it that far. However, some will win, some will die. Some will head to the lower bracket of Pro League today. And that's what we're here to find out who it is going to be. I'm joined once again by the Hawkman. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. We got some decent games yesterday. We got some fun games today. So all's good in the world of Counter-Strike, James, and that's basically my life. So I'm a happy man.
Absolutely. We all started, of course, with the upper bracket yesterday. Everybody starts at the top. Some people will begrudgingly make their way to the bottom, but we can look at the upper bracket here in Group A and see how things are looking after one day of action. Outsiders 2-0'd IHC here on the B stream, and they'll be playing Fnatic, who beat MIBR 2-0 on the A stream. Cloud9 had a pedestrian day at the office versus Evil Geniuses, who are still trying to find an identity. They'll be in action today in the lower bracket versus Eternal Fire. G2, though, will be heading forward to play Cloud9. That one is going to be quite interesting. You can see the schedule for Group A. We've got 4 games in total today, 3 of which are going to be on the A stream, 1 of which will be on the stream over here. This is the mid bracket now. These are the people who have lost their first match. So that is shaping up to be IHC versus MIBR, Evil Geniuses versus Eternal Fire. Any early favorites here, Hawker?
Ooh, I feel like IHC and MIBR are both pretty solid, and so that should be a close matchup. This one, you've got to assume Eternal Fire are looking pretty good. Even against G2, I mean, sure, they lost 2-0, but they were somewhat competitive in that series. So I feel like Eternal Fire might have a little run through this mid-bracket. I got a good feeling about them.
Time will tell. Indeed, that will be our match today, Eternal Fire and Evil Geniuses. And I'm quite interested actually to focus on EG as long as we can on this stream, because I'm really curious to see if we can see any growth from team to team. Obviously, they had a really tough draw having Cloud9 in the first match. I don't know that we saw anything notable, and we'll break them down more versus Eternal Fire later on. But you know, the low-hanging fruit is I think all the memeing and so on we see on social media. But we do want to try and track some progress with this squad, and we're going to have an opportunity to do that today as well. Perhaps they'll have a fair shake of the stick against an Eternal Fire, who are also trying to find their own progress after having multiple switcheroos, major off, major on, and so forth. We've got Calix, who's been there again for a few months as well. So there's somewhat of a turbulent roster over there. Not everybody agrees on everything, and sometimes short-term results can impact long-term decisions in that roster. So I think there are issues to be resolved on both sides there.
I'm hoping Eternal Fire have finally started to figure it out, because I think literally for like 8 out of the 12 months last year, they made at least one roster move, whether it's bringing back players they'd already benched or whatever the hell was going on. But so far to start this year, it seems like they've stuck with this roster. So I'm feeling good. I feel like whenever Major's at the helm, everything feels a little more solid on this team. So I'm glad he's back, and I'm hoping for good things now. I feel like they're in a good spot right now.
Yeah, that will be quite an interesting matchup. Now, on the A stream, they had Nerf guns yesterday. On the B stream, I decided to pull out my stun grenade, which I have to say I bought from eBay, but it does look real. And I'm scared to pull the pins.
Very good.
I'm not going to pull the pins because nothing good can come from that. But this is a little ornament that I have here in the Bardolph HQ, amongst other ones that you're aware of, Hawker. We won't bring those ones out, though. Leave those to be a mystery. You can put your guesses in the chat. But indeed, we've just got the one best of 3 today, which is just around the corner. Now, again, I'm trying to resist breaking into that a bit further, because we are going to be doing that a little later on. But I love these Eternal Fire guys as well. Again, we've got very explosive people like Xantares, of course, who is always a pleasure to commentate. And I feel like, you know, with the turbulence we've seen from that squad in terms of their roster, they always kind of fall back into the same loose group of at least like 3 of the players. You might have Woxit come and go as well. But I do wonder, I feel like maybe it's a little more difficult in terms of the international CS coming from a Turkish background. I don't know how common the English language is there. So I feel like to some degree, at least in recent times, this main core has been stuck with each other. So I hope they can find common ground and find some long-term stability, so they can just focus on keeping a similar roster. Because when you have all these pieces come in and out, you know, people are playing positions they don't normally do, that does set you back a fair bit as they have to get their reps in, especially against different players, and learn their habits and so on. That can really take a long time to solidify.
Yeah, they kind of feel like a bit of a throwback because I feel like we have so many European teams now. It's nice to have an international team, like a national team again, because there's so many international squads nowadays. So I'm glad that we've got a full Turkish team here.
Indeed, and we have a Eternal Fire dating profile to look at, so check this out.
Hello, my name is Mayer. I'm from Eternal Fire team from Turkey, and I play CSGO.
Hello, I'm Explode from Eternal Fire.
In 3 words, my team is firepower, stress, don't give up. It's 3 words, but never give up.
My love language is in CSGO is sacrifice and good communication.
To be honest, I think we play with our heart. Like everybody know in Turkish scene is not really growing up in CSGO. I think we are only one team, so they should support us. We are alone against the Europe, so.
And a cold one.
Like maybe Calix don't have emotion. Like he's not laughing, he's not crying. This guy has no emotion. Like maybe it's something special. He won like a 1v4. Like I'm like this guy, nice. He's no emotion. Like.
Our green flag is aim power in our team. We are just smashing heads. When we have momentum, we can win against tier 1.
Because we are the underdog, no? Like everyone likes underdogs. We know that they're gonna win, but like we're gonna play G2. They want us to beat G2. So when you're outsider, it's something really, really good.
Dallas, we're back. Counter-Strike is in our DNA. It always has been, and it always will be. And now we are once more returning to where it all began.
Into the jungle. Into the jungle. Bring it on. What in the world, huh? You all of my nerves, huh? You never return, huh? When you enter in the jungle.
I go home when I win. I'm alone when the wind blows. Hoping I get advances, this increases chances. My life is like a prom, but there ain't no dances. I'm standing in this hall getting funny glances. I was raised as a youth, but was missing parents. I was raised by my granny, shit, I miss my granny. Hardly raised by my daddy, but I miss my daddy. Wasn't raised by my mother, but I miss my mother. I ain't get to know my mother, but I actually loved her. Strange. I made the studio my home. Every time I touch a microphone, I'm at home. Every time I hear a metrodome, I get in the zone. Every time I get into the zone, I'm usually all alone. Home, it's where the heart is, pop. It's where our art is, usually goes the heart is, pop. It's where our art is, showing them that you are hip-hop. Long as you finish, doesn't matter where you started. I'm home. When I win, I'm alone. When the wind blows, and I won't lie. Oh,
is where the heart is, yeah. I said I'm in love with my hood, just know my love ain't lust. Hater said he had my chick, just know my broads ain't touch. Don't be snitching on my clique and get my dog caged up. Look for smoke and get you all blazed up. Like a chimney, aggressive with the ace when I hit your face with the mini-me. Have to switch the plates when I use the K on the enemy. I shoot it's automatic like bad habits and tendencies. All in the back, puffing the remedy. With a 9 on my lap, she like a 10 to me. I started from scratch, now the epitome. These rappers all my sons, y'all motherfuckers be kidding me. I'm smoking blunts out the Range Rover, the chain smoker. Dangerous, pretty ugly with Dracos if you ain't noticed. My hometown is a war zone and it ain't bogus. Fridge is filled with a gang of coke and it ain't soda.
When I win, I'm alone.
Right then, Eternal Fire and Evil Geniuses. This is going to be, I think it's going to be closer. I hope it's going to be closer. Okay. Think might be a stretch. I hope it's going to be closer. I mean, it's certainly going to be closer than what we saw versus Cloud9, which couldn't be further, really. So, you know, there is history. There's a little history between these two squads. But are you expecting a wipeout here, Hawker? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, honestly, I'm expecting a wipeout. I'm going to say I think Eternal Fire have been in a pretty good position lately. They found their footing, and it's just the complete opposite for EG. And there's just a lot of firepower on Eternal Fire as well. And they're a team that normally play with no fear. Even against G2, man, they took G2 very close on Nuke. That was a 16-14 map in the end. So I feel like they're in good enough form here to get EG out of there.
We can look at their recent history against each other from the previous season of Pro League, where it was a 2-0 win for Evil Geniuses. And this is where I think perhaps there is some hope. Of course, that will be a while ago now, quite a while ago, in fact. We're talking about September of last year. So much has changed, but I don't know if the trajectory has been so positive at EG. They won Dust 2 16-4, overpassed 16-9 in that series, which we can see some highlights of. But between that now and then, you know, Eternal Fire have had some changes, and they seem to be stabilizing, but EG, I'm not so sure about.
Yeah, it is not been great for EG lately. I feel as though they definitely have, you know, a couple of players who have shown us some promise, but it's kind of the names I was expecting. I feel like, you know, Automatic has still looked pretty solid. He's always someone that's going to have a decent read on the game, and that's going to set him up for a couple of rounds where he can have impact. But all in all, it hasn't been enough in terms of the firepower from this team, whereas Eternal Fire actually have a pretty good amount of firepower across the board, and obviously Xantares is always a big part of that. I think the rest of the team are definitely stepping up alongside him, and yeah, as I was saying earlier, just nice to have a full Turkish team. I feel like there's just enough talent to make this team nice and competitive, which is good to see.
We can see some highlights of Cirque here, who is, of course, no longer with EG. And I think a lot of people would argue that he is the better sniper of the two that were on EG. But sometimes change is needed. Even if the player is good enough, it might be about just changing things up so you don't get stuck in the old patterns which have been figured out and solved by your opponents. So the change in itself, I don't think is necessarily a negative thing, but I think that they need to find the right players to replace them. We heard the comments from Cloud9 yesterday with regards to the EG squad, especially about the younger players, where they were saying it might take 1 to 2 years to get them up to scratch with Tier 1 Counter-Strike. And that is a very, very long time indeed. So the question is, do you want that to happen on your watch, or do you want that to happen on someone else's watch and try and get some more wisdom in the team? If we go really far back to the FNS, to the Cutler era of NA teams, where you saw, I think before the rise of things like FPL, you saw a lot of names being recycled. So there's opposite ends of the spectrum. Like before, you used to have the name value where the same people would be rotated through lots of different teams and have the same kind of unremarkable results until the younger players would break through. And of course, that wouldn't be so easy. But now we have the younger players maybe being plucked a little too early for where a brand like Evil Geniuses should be, right? So I don't know what the middle ground is there, especially in the vacuum of North American Counter-Strike with some players heading out for different pastures, coming back and so on. I imagine it can't be easy, but then Cirque himself was an import. So I don't see why they couldn't do the same in that regard and find somebody who has relevant experience. If that's the solution, again, they've made the changes like Cirque disappearing, getting other people in. But with the comments from Cloud9 about how much time those younger players will need, like, is it enough? Can you really wait that long?
Yeah, that's the scary thing. It's really hard for these less experienced NA players to get that experience right now, because I wouldn't even say some of these names would have been the next players up from the scene, because as you said, some of those players went elsewhere. So yeah, it is tough. They did bring in Neelan, the Kazakh in-game leader, to the squad, so they're clearly willing to go international. So hopefully that's something that can come through for them in the future. You can see, despite that previous matchup we saw earlier, in terms of recent form and recent win rates, Eternal Fire are doing way better on that front than EG.
Yeah, I think I think every match that is even possible, really, in this bracket is a gauntlet run for Evil Geniuses. They're not going to have an easy ride in any regard. So I think this will be a good measure. Again, as Cloud9 was, it was a measure. It turned out to be a bad one, let's say, for EG. But I think having played Eternal Fire in September, of course, we have some different rosters now. But again, we can see what the status is of these two squads. So again, it's all like a science project. It's like homework here, just to keep an eye on EG and see how they are doing. We're going to have a look at yesterday's stats between these two squads in terms of how they were doing. And I think we're going to see a stark difference. And especially bearing in mind, EG were playing Cloud9, Eternal Fire were playing G2. But look at the output from the likes of Xantares and so on. Still managing to go positive despite a 0-2 loss. On the other side, 11 frags over 2 maps for Wiz is just go. I mean, the whole team didn't really do great. Automatic, just about putting up the best numbers there. But there's quite a contrast here in these numbers that we're seeing.
Yeah, that is tough. I think Wiz had a tough go of things yesterday, and the first map definitely didn't help, especially when you're the AWPer on the team and you're picking Inferno and you're getting smashed on it. It's just not an easy map to get that AWP going on T side. So maybe that contributes somewhat, but you know, it's still not enough. You've got to be able to bounce back. You've got to be able to take your own initiative. And yeah, man, like Eternal Fire, I mean, they're coming off the back of recently winning a smaller tournament that was actually taking place in Malta with some pretty decent teams there. There were teams like Spirit, Ents, Bad News Eagles at that tournament, and Eternal Fire beat all of them and won the whole thing. So I feel like that's a real step for these guys to make sure that they stick with this roster, because it feels like they've got that 5 now, and hopefully that is a sign of good things to come.
Vito is coming through now for this one. I think we have a clue as to what the first map might be. Not many black bars in this setup.
Oh, yeah.
But Anubis will be the first pick. Love to see it. I want to see as much of Anubis as possible. I think everybody does. And I think especially for EG, a change from what they were playing yesterday might do them some favors. And we'll get a... excuse me. We'll get a wider idea of what to expect from their map pool at the moment and see what kind of shape they're in. So Anubis overpass and Nuke as a decider. What do you think about this?
I just really like that we have a team who seem comfortable picking Anubis in Eternal Fire. They picked it against G2 yesterday as well. So it's nice that a team like Eternal Fire are adopting some of the new maps. I think that makes a lot of sense for them based on where they're at right now. EG used to love Overpass, and I feel like it's the kind of map they want to be suited towards with Neelan as the in-game leader, having a bit of structure to the team. I just don't think we've seen the coordination and the cohesion to make Overpass work for them. So I'm hoping they can prove me wrong. But realistically, we've got to say Eternal Fire have to be pretty solid favorites.
Yeah, I think it's... I would go as far as to say a crazy argument to say otherwise. I would love to be proven wrong, and perhaps I will be after this break. We'll see you soon.
You used to couldn't recognize they all on the ground while I'm taking flight. Yeah, you're welcome to join me. I promise I won't bite.
Things they say, they're never getting in my way. And even if I make mistakes, I will always see them through. Cause I don't wanna play your game. I had enough, I'm burning up so hot I just break your chain. Stop, it's building up inside of me. Inside of me. They call me a monster, I guess I don't fit in with the imposters. I'm taking the mask off, prepare your conscience, prepare for honest, cut off all the nonsense. I'm all in your shot, girl, wonder who shot you. Go call the doctor, boom like the chopper. Don't you get chopped up, I'm here to stop you. Whoever wants smoke like a roster, break you off proper. Things they say, they're never getting in my way. And even if I make mistakes, I will always see them through. What's that? Cause I don't wanna play your game. I had enough, I'm burning up so hot I just break your chain. You can never stop, it's building up inside of me. Play your game. I had enough, I'm burning up so hot I just break your chain. You can never stop, it's building up inside of me. They say that I'm such a weirdo, tattoos from my toes to my earlobe. Can never stop, it's building up inside of me. They say that I'm such a weirdo, tattoos from my toes to my earlobe. Can never stop, it's building up inside of me. Can never stop, it's building up inside of me.
It is time then. Anubis, the next test for Evil Geniuses is going to be Eternal Fire, who look in much better form than last time these two teams met in September of last year. Now, what shape will Evil Geniuses will be in? I don't think there was much on the radar in their previous match versus Cloud9, but will we see some blips, some dots on this occasion, or will they be missing once again?
That's the question, and we will get that answered shortly. I'm definitely excited for Anubis. I want to see more teams fully preparing themselves on this map, fully showing us what this map has to offer. And I think that the best way to sort of stress test the map is having teams like this willing to pick it, showing us some of the new stuff. And Eternal Fire are fitting that mold here. They've gone for the Anubis pick, and they have quite a lot of utility ready for this pistol.
It's a whole new world. I really want to sing that like Disney song really badly, but I'm going to stop myself from doing so.
Strain yourself.
They're going the long way so as not to give the sound cues to a mid player by running, going down the stairs. Hopefully we're going to see some nice HEs down those stairs from the CT side later on, but of course the pistol must come first. Wiz will be the grenade man for EG. You can see him holding a pop flash here for Hext, who patiently waits, and now they realize that they've got problems coming their way. Instant frag here for Immort, And he will be traded, but Xantares is here to keep the numbers up. Wiz will trade once again, down to the 3-on-3. Back at the site now, dancing around the smoke grenades, and that might allow this bomb to get planted.
Flank from Breeze, not successful. xFloud was waiting in the backlines, and that means EG have a hard retake on their hands here. Alex will just stay in that corner while the other players look to try and take fights here on the EG side. They're spotting out opponents, but they're just not landing the frags. Calix with another nice shot. And Wiz is not going to have an opportunity to win the round here. As long as they stay safe, there's no way in for him, and there's no way out either. xFloud with a nice shot, and a big B execute there from Eternal Fire. They had so much utility into that bomb site. Even though EG had a stack in play, it was just not enough to hold that off.
Indeed, it wasn't. Love me some pistol headshots, and so do Eternal Fire. Numbers game prevailing there. Instant smoke, I would imagine, towards the mid area, although it could also be for the cave as well, for dark or electric, whatever you like to call it, depending on where you're from. Well then, EG, they have gone for the force buy once again. Wiz will be leaving the AWP money in the hole. There was an instant smoke for electric, as mid will be taken. Protocols being run by Eternal Fire as they take their map control.
Yeah, standard utility early. You oftentimes get a lot of nades traded in towards this area. CTs want to hold on to it, otherwise that B site can be split so easily. See a molly there to clear it out. Not as much utility in this round for EG though, so they're going to have to rely on the firepower and the crossfires more than anything.
Well, this clock is running down a lot, actually.
It is.
With Hex holding a smoke grenade here, they could be in some trouble. They could be forced to go through this. This could really be awkward. We can see they're setting up for the split, and that might have to work out for them. But EG might have a few desperate seconds to rotate some players around. We can see Xantares starting to creep. We know what he can do, but they've really got to wait out their smoke grenades. There's a flash from Hex. Not going to force forward. No one's firing just yet, so maybe it'll work out after all. Automatic able to trade, but now the CTs are falling, and the threat has been eliminated. Didn't seem as uncomfortable for Eternal Fire as it felt watching, that's for sure. But they still need to plant the bomb just in time as Neelan takes down Xantares. An AK to be collected now. And this could get somewhat more menacing for Eternal Fire, but Emo's got a very good angle. It's going to be hard for Breeze to deal with that one. That leaves Neelan with the scout. I think the worst is over for Eternal Fire as they try to survive this force buy from EG.
Ooh, Neelan with another nice shot. At least he's looking warm for EG, even if it is unlikely to lead to anything in the outcome of the round. Calix will finally finish the job. So a bit of damage done to Eternal Fire, but all in all, a fairly comfortable round for them there. They had that split towards the A site. Just had enough time to be able to filter in from both different avenues. Really just needed the A main players more than anything. So a strong start for Eternal Fire here, proving why they picked this map. And not much for EG to work with in this one. Definitely nice to see some A play from Eternal Fire early in this one. Sometimes that site gets a little avoided.
Yeah, it's another one of those maps where A feels like B and B feels like A. Eternal Fire have played this map more often than any other in the last 3 months. And again, I think it's great to be an early adopter. Because some schools have thought that this map might go through significant changes, you know, looking at the history of Overpass and such, but it seems that it might not need that so much in the short term. Very mentally stimulating thus far. So another dry round then for EG. Mostly towards that B-bomb side, but we can see Hex there in isolation. So Eternal Fire is a great opportunity for them to warm up, basically. Winning that pistol proves quite significant for them. We still await to see what EG may have in mind for the first of their buy rounds. Lots of money being made with this Mac 10, and Calix is looking to do the same.
flank round the back and spots out both of those players. Alex and Xantares making good cash early, and it's not like there was too much damage done by EG in those subsequent rounds. So the economy for Eternal Fire is real nice right now. EG will be able to get their first buy on the board, though. I love that Hex tried to hide in that position. Maybe there's a chance that some lesser experienced Anubis teams wouldn't be fully aware. Eternal Fire are going to be wise to any tricks in that sort of low buy. Now some fast nades towards this B bomb site. I don't think we'll see the commitment, but a lovely lineup. How do you even do like 60 damage with a nade?
That is beautiful.
Oh, another.
That's such a nice grenade.
Jeez.
Is that a wry smile on Breeze's face? Like, oh, this is nice. We're in for some trouble here.
I wonder if you can get 2 different lineups to dunk them at the same time, because that would be ideal.
Beautiful grenade. Now, Anubis, I feel, is a map which encourages CT aggression. You can see Wiz and Hext over towards the A bomb site at the moment. I do wonder if there'll be plays later on. As you can see there, Major is keeping them honest in that regard. Very awkward angle to deal with. You can Molotov that position, though. But I think that's a dedicated play from the beginning of the round. 50 seconds remain in this one as Eternal Fire, part of their default, have gone for mid-presence again, and the threat of a split of the A bomb site is rising.
Yeah, the reaction is not going to be easy here from EG. They don't have anyone in mid, so they can't really rotate that easily between the sites. And they're actually getting ahead of themselves somewhat here, EG. They're starting to rotate over to A, but Eternal Fire are just using that mid presence to make EG scared and try and come back to B.
Neelan with the full spray, completely blind. Limited info for him as Breeze will try to do what he can, but 16 HP after those grenades. See how long his lasts. Oh, that Molotov hasn't gone the right way. Calix is down, so is the bomb. Breeze just dancing, trying to buy every second he can. 8 seconds to plant that bomb, but can they find the angles to stop it? Not sure if Wiz will get an angle. Flashes are here. X-Flower is so blind. Down he goes. And the retake is on, but again, Xantares, the trades will be there for Hex, and EG will be on the board. They've won their first buy round 2, surviving as well.
Normally, Xantares is terrifying in those positions where it's all about his aim. His first bullet accuracy can be incredible. This time, they limit him to just the 1 kill. And that was a pretty solid rotate from EG. I feel like the overall call from Eternal Fire was still solid. It's just this eventual push wasn't as effective as it needed to be on towards the site. You saw Breeze was able to isolate that first fight a little too easily. Took them a little too long to get out into the bomb site itself. And EG had a pretty nice flash to help set up that retake. That's what really made the difference. So good stuff from EG. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Yeah, very defensive setup from EG in that round. See how their formation changes over the course of this map of Anubis, especially for Breeze of how much damage he took. He's not going to want to receive that again, but look how much map control Calix has got so early on. Very worrisome. This forces the CTs to burn a lot of utility as well. They're going for a retake of this position. Got to be nervous of the other side at the same time. And this early presence from Eternal Fire will set them up nicely later on towards that B bomb site should they want to pursue it. Because again, EG have been forced to burn their util early. They've been relying on these smokes in these initial rounds to try and delay Eternal Fire as much as possible. When those start to be lacking, will that force some aggression from them? We can see Automatic rotating over, in charge of passive angles towards mid. Everywhere but where Calix is standing. Punishing the reload for free. He might get Breeze as well. Breeze have got so much to do now. They're pushing on both sides. He's going to have to fall back, surely.
Yeah, he's got 2 kills from this position, though, so that's already solid. Automatic emerges through the smoke, but Xantares lining up a couple of kills and bringing it back to even numbers here. Bomb should be planted. Hext is looking to make that move, but Xantares with the molly. Hext stuck, forced back through the flames. And in the meantime, Immor's landed a frag of his own, so it's Hext in a 1-on-2. He knows the position of both players. He Doesn't know how he can find these fights with the AWP. The nade would be big. He wants to bounce it back. It's not going to happen for him. And Eternal Fire lock in another round.
That early electric control really caused problems for EG. Breeze put in work to try and keep the round viable for them, but in the end, Eternal Fire able to overwhelm and get back to winning ways. The AWP retained for EG. But they're back to losing the rounds now. What a punish from Calix. Just didn't spray the close wall through the smoke, and you've got to be so careful about reloading like that near a smoke where you're going to get punished. Sometimes it can be a bait. There can be multiple players there, but with the threat of the other side of the B-bomb sites as well, the confident play through the smoke will break Evil Geniuses and put everybody on pistols apart from Wiz. Can we see this from Wiz's POV? Thank you very much. So, you can always win a round with an AWP, but how do you get that AWP to work? Eternal Fire have been pretty consistent with their presence in mid. Wiz is going to have to take some risks. That can be having a teammate with a pistol swing for you, take the crosshairs away. He does have automatic behind him, but he is going in relatively dry. No action where he is at the moment as he continues to swing through mid, though. You can see Eternal Fire focusing now, but see some risks being taken there, as they have to be. Wiz needs to try and find some kills before the pistols die. Still standing in mid, as it's target practice for Eternal Fire on this B-bomb site.
Yeah, nice shots into the B-bomb site. They had that deeper smoke into B as well. Sometimes you see teams smoke more closer to the obelisk on the site. That one was a little deeper, so it cut off that deep CT angle. It makes it so that you can flush out the angles on the site a little easier. Can be a more difficult way to take the site when the CTs have more counter utility or just crossfires across the bomb site. When they have these weak weapons, you're pretty confident that you can just win your aim duels. And this is where you maybe don't need to hunt. At the same time, you wouldn't mind getting that AWP out of the hands of Wiz. Weirdly enough, though, Eternal Fire's money is nowhere near as good as you might expect. So I don't mind them just saving their 5 guns here. That's a pretty good way to go about it. And I always love it when the in-game leader on a team is winning like this, winning 5-1, and hasn't even had to get a kill. Major's just been calling the strats, pulling the strings, and he's putting on a good puppet show right now.
We see a second AWP coming out for Evil Geniuses then. So a change in approach. But how will they post up with these? I feel like 2 AWPs, maybe they don't make an aggressive play, but post up with some angles. We can see Emor having a look towards mid. There's Neelan with his AWP. So he started quite aggressively at the very least. Eternal Fire, they've got time to play with. And eventually, you see, it feels like they're reading that at some point EG are going to want to make an aggressive play, as we often see. But it doesn't seem like it will be this round. Maybe waiting for some dry peaks for Eternal Fire. Was looking for a quick scope as Hecht once again will be holding the smoke down. So a responsive setup from EG, waiting for Eternal Fire to make their play.
Oh, that's a pretty nice smoke to disrupt that setup that EG wanted to run in this position. They wanted to have Hex there as the further forward player, and then the AWP back to trade at the teammate. That smoke makes it a lot more awkward here for the CTs. Flash will be nice. Wiz can now get established, but the molly comes in at just the right time, and he's a dead man.
Hex is in trouble now. I'm not sure how much support is coming. They're streaming. He could get 2. Dancing around, looking for the third in Calix, but a trade will be there. Automatic's made his way over. Blind and fragged by Xantares, down to a 2-on-2. One getting planted as Nina looks to make some space for himself. Flashing through, but these angles are so awkward, especially with the elevation that the T's are afforded. They know where Neelan is now as that Molotov comes through. Next Xfloud will get the last 2. 6-1 for Eternal Fire. A strong start to a favorite pick of Anubis for Eternal Fire.
Yeah, this looks so clean from them. The protocols on all the nades are fantastic. And I do kind of agree with you where I thought we were going to see some EG CT aggression at some point. I feel like you have to make Eternal Fire uncomfortable, especially with what we've seen so far, because these rounds look incredibly convincing. We'll see if EG have that aggression available to them. They have that in their strat book. For now, it is a weakened buy here. Got this double A setup again from EG. Major helping with a flash over mid. Yeah, Hext is hoping he can use this close angle. Sometimes this might be overlooked, but Calyx able to adjust and make it a second entry. Clean as you like. The bomb is actually back here with Xfloud, and he goes down. So that makes it just a little awkward. But they've still got to frag out pretty heavily on the EG side to have a chance here.
Yeah, the bomb's quite well hidden away. Unbeknownst to EG, it is just around the corner from where they are. But at this point, they might want to just hold on to this AK-47. But the longer the bomb's not planted, you do have to start to wonder, is the bomb nearby? Is there something we want to consider making a play for it? Maybe the AK is more valuable, though. You can see Major creeping around, support flash from Emor. And off they go. But indeed, EG are on a pilgrimage. Wiz surely is soon to be expired. Then Neelan has a decision to make. Do you want an AK or do you want an M4? Might feel like they're hunting him, having not planted a bomb just yet. And now we've got 20 seconds and the bomb's not even on a bomb site, but Calyx has a tight enough angle to deal with the threat. 7-1 for Eternal Fire. EG take nothing from that round into this one.
Yeah, Calyx having a really good start to this game. He's another one who has had a pretty interesting career. I know for a little while there, he was playing on all sorts of teams outside of the Turkish scene. He went to Windigo briefly. Then he was playing on Envy over in America for a bit. He's had a long and tumultuous journey before coming back to the Turkish scene, where he was initially a rising talent back in sort of 2018. Definitely has a very high skill ceiling. You can see his sort of snappy aim style. That second headshot very well placed. And he's definitely someone to watch out for alongside Xantares. Those were always the two Turkish players that made you feel like this sort of team would be possible. And that is a big smoke lineup from Major out of spawn. Okay, that's the smoke that lands on the inside here, so it makes it really difficult for the CTs to control this early.
Neelan! Neelan!
Nades. Bree should have told you. Be careful. Yeah, that gets you so much control, that smoke. That's so nice.
It really is. And it just forces them to burn so much utility themselves. Is less than ideal. That's an important lineup to know for the CT side for sure. So finally something going EG's way in terms of this 5-on-4. Neelan will be very careful with his reloads though. Has an extra weapon to use as well. And now Major will be focusing on that. There's a minute on the clock for Eternal Fire to make their play. No presence towards the A-bomb site. So hard for EG to quietly figure that out though, especially with that elevated position. Really need a Molotov for that spot. But again, EG are staying passive and they're going to sit on their advantage. Playing like the England football team, scored one goal. Just try and hold on to that one rather than score another.
The execute looks like it's at the ready. Counter incendiary, well timed from Breeze. Now they can focus more towards B long. And Eternal Fire feel like they have just enough time to wait this out. But those smokes will start to fade soon if they're not careful. That flash not good enough. And Neelan, nice angle, hits the headshot. Finally, he falls, but there's another player who's arrived on the rotate. Xantares might have to fight his way out of this one, and Imor's alongside him. They need the bomb plant. 4 seconds. I think they have it, but it's Imor who has to clutch around the obelisk.
He's got half the info. He has an idea of where Wiz is. Shotgun mode now as Emor starts to move forward, making some space for himself. They know he's close now, and Hex will start to get closer as well. Both with defuse kits for EG. Emor down to the Tech-9, trying to play close, but not finding anyone just yet. They could go for the straight defuse here if they figure out where he is. He's been spotted now. Hex is going to swing and deliver that frag. A much needed second round for Evil Geniuses. We'll see if they pick up a second AWP as well. But they're back to winning ways. Costly losing 3 players, but it's the score that counts.
Yeah, and a pretty solid hold all in all in that round. And sometimes that ult can have a pretty good chance there when playing around that B bomb site. Seen some big clutches from that position. Obviously, Dexter springs to mind. But this time round, unfortunately for Immort, even though he got away to a pretty good position, just not able to land that first shot. Still pretty impressive that Eternal Fire brought that round close. And this time we got a molly from xFloud into that similar position. That's allowing Eternal Fire to get up close early. They might just go for a quick B play here.
Oh, that's absolutely brutal. A 2-man swing, and Breeze is surely going to get traded by Emor. Indeed, he is abusing the numbers game, Eternal Fire. I love the pace of this play from them. That is quite the response. A dynamic Eternal Fire we're seeing on Anubis. Again, it's been passive after passive from EG. Still waiting for some kind of aggressive play to take the game to Eternal Fire. But that was a great change of pace. And again, there's so much pressure towards that B bomb site. And there's nothing else for them to do in this round. Got to fall back and try and hold on to what they have.
I would love to hear from Eternal Fire whether that was something they sort of planned for earlier in this game. Because they've been nading that same position towards B so many times. Putting that smoke down. They've basically been stopping EG from playing down towards that angle. And you saw the exact angle Nealon was playing was a bit further back, where he felt like he would dodge those nades that have been coming in. And that's kind of what allowed Eternal Fire to just run up into that position so quickly. There was a molly in front of Nealon, so he couldn't challenge aggressively. They just swung towards him with such confidence there on the Eternal Fire side. Beautifully done. Lovely pace change in that round. Unfortunately for Evil Geniuses, they don't seem to have a handle on this game right now. I think this is more Eternal Fire just playing fantastically, though, right now.
Yeah, they look like a well-oiled machine. But again, EG, well, Hexton Wiz are edging further forward on the A bomb site. But Nealon and co will have to try and delay elsewhere. Again, they are surrounded by Eternal Fire. They will surely hear that tagging. Nealon has the least fun position on his CT side thus far. So we can see Wiz has taken a much more aggressive angle than we've seen him play before.
Doesn't look like he'll get the chance initially, but Eternal Fire just making noise elsewhere. Wiz has tucked back slightly. Smoke has just been deployed into the A bomb site as well, and mid is wide open. Hext is just playing for info, but now that he spots them, he's got to be careful. He's gone down. It's Wiz who drops the bomb, though, and that could be big here. He can turn back. More fights coming his way. With 34 seconds remaining, the backup is arriving. The AWP doesn't need to do more. All the rifles getting into play. It's Calix who's had a great game so far, but he's got 25 seconds to get that bomb back. He's just scared of this flanking player. He's desperately looking for another kill. I think that means he will have to just concede this round at this point.
He could just go for kills, at least, because Xantares is short, but somebody can drop him, and there's absolutely value to be had in just trying to frag as many CTs as possible, keep them as poor as possible. He will die just after time, I think. So that won't happen. But certainly with the run they're having, there was some value to be squeezed there. So Evil Geniuses get their third round on the board. Wiz taking down the bomb carrier and the support. There'll be money for Eternal Fire. So the AKs will keep coming. The action will keep coming. And Eternal Fire, they've been showing depth in their T-strats in terms of their timing. Harassing Nealon in the electric position. EG now with 3 players over towards B. Hext alone on A on this occasion. And again, Eternal Fire are looking for what they must feel must be an eventual push somewhere by EG. It doesn't seem to be happening just yet.
As Couple of mid-mollies. Xantara is able to swing behind them. And EG have been willing to give up mid in a lot of these rounds. Oh, Immol waits for the aggression. Finally, EG trying to change up the pace, but it doesn't pay off for them. Orb has been recovered by Neelan, but you have to wonder whether that B site could be under pressure now. Neelan's trying to swing out into them. Oh, spots the shoulder, but Calix takes him down, and now you have to feel like Eternal Fire will strike. Solid trade onto the B site. And they might just take this B site completely. The response from EG not here quickly enough.
Eternal Fire seem one step ahead in this half, especially after the faster aggression we saw. Maybe trying to bait an aggressive response from EG. Sitting there and punishing them for trying. So indeed, this is looking very fruitful for Eternal Fire at present. They're probably heading for a 12-3 scoreline unless EG can do something to turn things around. They get the odd round here and there. But again, they're always at the mercy of Eternal Fire's control and decisions. Well, they don't really have the money to... We'll see what the next round looks like for EG, because I'm thinking surely they wouldn't go for an aggressive round again, but then maybe that's the reason to do it. If they have some kind of execute, especially to be aggressive towards A. It's essentially an execute to push through with the utility required. Let's see what they choose to do.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I feel like that's a round where EG try a bit of CT aggression, a little switch up with this push. But Himmel's in the perfect place to just deal with it. Even if Eternal Fire take these slow defaults, EG aren't able to go for the aggressive plays to disrupt them. Ooh, man. Damage traded, almost even. This B site has been so solid for Eternal Fire when they've tried to take it. And in so many of these rounds, EG are happy to play 2 players over towards A. But that's not always the standard setup for CTs. Sometimes you might just want to play a little further back on that side. There's a bit of counter utility onto Xantares. Not giving away mid so easily. Pretty big risk taken by EG here, stacking so heavily towards A. Wonder if we see any aggression from them on that side of the map. Might not matter because Eternal Fire is starting to set up outside B. And it's still a pretty committed setup here from EG. This is going to be so hard to hold.
Yeah, Breeze has a smoke. They've got the molly for the electric room to try and delay. And we can see that push is coming. It's edging forward from EG, but with 40 seconds left, they've got to get off to the races. They don't have any eyes on mid. We've got Hex still stuck on the other side of the map at present, and the frags are starting to come through. Breeze needed something from that. Was 0 from 2 opportunities, and now the bomb site's been taken. A long flank all the way through T-spawn, and Hex is lost in the meantime. So the aggression was there, but not fast enough, unfortunately. Too much risk. So you don't blame the hesitation. But there's no one on the radio for Wiz and Automatic. They're all gone already. People will hunt for the rest of them. Quick flick to Automatic. And Xfloud is there for the trade. They lose everything once again, and the CT side is looking dire for EG as far as the score is concerned.
Calix feeling it, man. 18 kills on the board. His aim looks crisp as always. And for EG, I was expecting them maybe to just play a retake setup on B in this sort of round. But I think they just couldn't adjust quickly enough. They felt pretty committed to the site itself. It is now pistols again for the CTs in this one. It's been a fantastic display from Eternal Fire. That is unexpected. They didn't realize Hex was so far forwards. At least able to trade 1 for 1, even if Calix took a lot of damage in the process.
If he had a 5-7 there, I think he gets 2 frags.
Yeah, I could see it.
You just can't spam the deagle like he used to be able to. Quite an impressive change in that regard. Got to hit those headshots.
I'm kind of glad for that change.
Yeah, I am sad because now it exposes me as a bad player even more. But
Yeah.
it is a change for the better overall. Just a reminder for those at home, this is the mid bracket. The loser heads to the lower bracket. After that, you're donezo if you lose another game. So the urgency is rising. And the deficit is rising for EG. There's been a hard CT side versus a very adept Eternal Fire with different paces that we've seen from them. Slow rounds and fast. Different aggressions towards Electric. On B, waiting for that eventual aggression and punishing EG for it. Full control from Eternal Fire in this first half.
They are going to be going into the stack in this round. Nice shot from Breeze. Still more players on the bomb site to deal with. Xantares wants that player behind the site itself, but it's automatic to strike from the side. And Calix simply doesn't have the time. So Automatics D comes through. EG finally find another round. 4th on the board. And it comes down to the time being low. A good, well-placed stack from EG. And a couple of nice shots at the right time.
Not too shabby at all. Those rounds could certainly be helpful. Again, not something you can replicate, but they need every round they can get at the moment. And maybe that will have an impact later on. Last round of the first half then. And they've got a pretty good buy, EG. 2 AK-47s as well. Neelan could certainly use one of those. And I think in terms of the positions the CTs are playing, if there's one AK to go around, surely you give it to the player playing that Electric spot, because it is such a rough ride there, especially against a team like Eternal Fire, who have taken the time out for the time being. Any edge he can get there will certainly be helpful.
Yeah, EG here, hoping to get at least a 5th round on the board. It's a round for Eternal Fire that they would like back after running into the stack so late. But all in all, it has been a pretty damn good half for them, so can't really complain. And we got a lot of that early utility out from Eternal Fire, trying to make it difficult for EG to challenge some of these positions. Wiz trying to play through it in mid this time. Oh, he landed the shot, but it was through the door. And Xantares' headshot hits harder.
Bomb's just holding an angle outside B, waiting for a push. And Neelan knows that trouble may be coming his way once again. There's a pop flash. Calix shows an elbow. And does Neelan go for a dry peek to catch him? There's so many players here just waiting. I love how he didn't commit to the frag there. Just wanted to get the information, see how safe or dangerous it was. And boy, was it dangerous. Doesn't even get all the info there, but he knows that they are waiting. They have time on the clock now, but that time is starting to run low. We're getting towards that 40-second mark. And now Hext has a lot of trouble coming his way. He's got automatic in the back, but how many frags is he good for? Will he be pre-aimed by Calix here? You can see the crouching coming through. Down he goes. Immor will show the bomb, and automatic will smoke them off.
24 seconds. Oh, they found the entry. Immor able to get that onto automatic. Neelan does clear Major out on the other side of the map, but this is such a strong position for Eternal Fire. They can play the post plant. They've got low health Xantares on the AWP, hoping to lock it down. There's no nades for EG for this retake.
Immor spots one. Breeze makes it a 2-on-2 though. Neelan has the kit. They've got to coordinate that correctly as this time starts to tick. First they've got to find next Flower. Breeze still alive for now, but the Stereopharax come through. And it will be 11 rounds for Eternal Fire at halftime. A monstrous start from them, but it's all about how you finish. And that comes after the break.
I'm awake, I'm alive. I am the cake and the prize. I've been feeling energized. I ain't into telling lies. Got a draw like enterprise. I ain't tripping off of pride. I've been in my bag. I ain't really gotta brag. I was posting on the app. See they getting mad. I be dripping with the swag. I be dripping with the sauce. I don't care what it costs. I might take a loss. That's the price of a boss. I might pull up like a horse. 911 on the Porsche. I've been bowling like a sport. I've been bowling like LeBron. With some women hella fine. I ain't into wasting time. I've been on my grind. I've been trying to shine. Hold up. Better don't stop. Don't stop. Better don't stop. Hold up. Better don't stop. Don't stop. Better don't stop. Hold up. Better don't stop. Don't stop. Better don't stop. Hold up. Better don't stop. Don't stop. Better don't stop. It's that real life Avengers. I be really in the trenches. I done came up off the benches. I be really getting splinters. I ain't tripping off an image. I be rocking something vintage. Pop up with the spinach. I ain't here to let you finish. In the booth, I'm a menace. I'm the truth and the chemist. I be pushing all the limits. I ain't never moving timid. I be really in my bag. I be dripping with the swag. I might pull up like a cab. Somewhere where the birds chirp. I be on the moon. I might mess around the curve earth. I be on the moon. I might mess around the curve earth. I be on the moon. I might mess around the curve earth. I be on the moon. I might mess around the curve earth. I be on the moon, I might mess around the curve. I be on the moon, I might mess around it. Hold up. Better don't stop. Don't stop. Better don't stop. Hold up. Better don't stop. Don't stop. Better don't stop. Hold up. Better don't stop. Don't stop. Better don't stop. Hold up. Better don't stop. Don't stop. Better don't stop. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up.
She said that she hate me, I hate me too. I can always tell when you lie.
Welcome back. We need to see some rounds on this new side for Evil Geniuses. The CT side was a struggle. We saw great stuff from Eternal Fire. Very, very interesting change-up of strats. And when the Evil Geniuses eventually tried to get aggressive, they were punished for it. It was a great half indeed, as you can see from the score, 11-4, as far as the Eternal Fire are concerned. But for Evil Geniuses, we need to see that genius as they head to the T side.
Feel like you're trying to be the EG hype man. Get them excited for this one. They need it right now. We got some aggression instantly from Eternal Fire. Out through mid, they've got all the information, and that means xCloud has to be prepared. And he's happy to play retake here. They've got that kit available to them. They've got a big flank coming in from Major. Wiz has spotted that out, though, and here's the boost, but xCloud holds his nerve. Good start there on the hold. And they'll see if they can put together this retake.
Automatic with a great angle. Oh, maybe not so great after all. Took one in the face, but Neelan's here to clean up the mess. Emor with 2 pistols might not be enough versus these 3 players of Evil Geniuses, though, who take the pistol. Finally, saw them lose a few yesterday, but they will trade pistols in the first game of this series. We can see Overpass is the second map. Nuke should have decided to be required. Now, this is a great start. We want to see what Evil Geniuses can do. They're starting in the right way by winning the pistol. No force buy from Eternal Fire just yet. We did see EG take a force buy after losing the pistol in the first half. Eternal Fire, though, have a different plan. So some contrasting approaches on the CT, going 0-1 in the half. No crazy stack we see here from Eternal Fire. 3 phase on A, though. The jump peeking from Calyx. They'll be punished by Neelan. And again, these are all tests now. I think we've got the magnifying glass out on EG just to see what the protocols are like. What are the executes versus buys? How do they deal with the anti-ecos? Maybe anti-force buys later on. We need to see attention to detail progress for this squad.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. And Neelan's having a pretty solid game here. He's a pretty decent fragging in-game leader, gotta say. 14 frags coming through with a nice bit of impact there in the pistol. And here comes Automatic, cleaning up those kills, farming those stats. That's always good for the confidence. Himmel's just trying to play this annoying angle. I like it. I like it. See if someone strays too far. See if they try and hunt you down. EG players want those stats right now, want to improve their KD. Oh, Himmel not able to land the shots this time, though. So that round goes as expected. But Eternal Fire saved for this one. Let's see if it is successful for them.
One round at a time. But the real test will begin in this one. Eternal Fire going for a more or less of a clean eco. They won't have an AWP, but they'll have enough utility. There are choices available to them, and I do wonder if we'll see something aggressive. Two towards mid, maybe. X-Flat alone towards that A-bomb site. Let's see how they cope with the carnage that Neelan had to deal with here. Neelan still on the receiving end, it seems. Taking a fat nade down to 56 HP.
X-Flat playing ahead of his own smoke here. Seeing if he can make the most of that, but Wiz actually able to get that kill in the end. Combining with Hext for that opener. Now there has to be some adjustment on the CT setup. See Xantares taking up the hold towards A. And Major will plug the gap towards mid. For EG, they're happy with the 5v4.
Yeah, speaking of mid, this is the mid to late round where yesterday we saw EG kind of lose grip somewhat because we saw this kind of aggressive response from the teams they were playing against. And we're seeing the same thing from Eternal Fire. They've taken their presence and they've disappeared, and now Eternal Fire have all the info they need, and they are surely about to lose some players. Hex is trying to cover the back, but he's in the red, and now they know Eternal Fire have all the information. It's probably a stack they're running into. With the time on the clock, though, what choice might they have? Hooks are still up, and they're forcing their way through. Look at that peek from Automatic to try and get something done here. Major still in situ, drops the bomb in Wiz, and Automatic will trade again, down to the 1 versus 2 versus Xantares with the robot aim. Automatic with 2 HP. They won't even plant the bomb. And this is one of the tests for EG, because I feel like it's the mid-round where things disappear from them. They're like, all right, we've done this, then everything slows down to a grind, and their opponent, even at disadvantage, sees it as an opportunity. They're proactive, they find gaps, and then this happens.
Yeah, it's just that nice timing for the mid-round aggression that the other teams seem to be able to find, and EG just don't seem to be able to figure that out. Great timing on the push from Xantares, gets so much info. And EG even overlooked the fact that there's going to be one more player already in position on that B bomb site. They didn't realize there was one more man lying in wait, so they try and plant the bomb way too soon. It ended up being the freest of frags for Major, which definitely makes a difference. Buys a bit more time for Xantares on the rotate. They still don't have that bomb down. Xantares cleans it up. This is still a chance for EG, though. Look at the buys between the two teams, because the last round was so close. That CT economy can be hard to manage sometimes. So they've got 3 MP9s into this round.
I do wonder about situations like that, if there's too much structure for EG to be more dynamic in a situation which might favor it. If it's partly an experience thing with the younger players where they might not know what opportunities there might be. They might not have that idea in their heads of where all the CTs might be. But that is something that their opponent uses as an opportunity, even in a 4 versus 5. Certainly around EG were looking good in until they weren't, of course. They have an execute of their own in this mid position. Xantares swinging through it. Sees nothing in mid. This is going to slow down the plans of EG, I'm sure.
Flash forces Xantares off the angle. He is going to get away, and Major actually was able to get that kill through the smoke at mid with the MP9. That is brutal for Automatic. Jump peeking for info here. could be dangerous, but Breeze unable to pull the trigger. And EG had that bomb towards B. Decide to take their time, move back. Now with that kill from Hex, they might come back to this B site though.
30 seconds on the clock. They better be synchronized. Hex is in a sandwich. The timing from Eternal Fire, the pushes again, so much more aggression we're seeing from them. Major with the MP9 dancing. How do you calm all these CT angles? xFloud alone now on the flank, coming in from the back in this 1 versus 2. With that Unicorn MP9, this time EG plant the bomb, but will anybody have an angle here? Of course not. There's too many places to cover. Neelan trying to identify where Breeze is, and the MP9 will be enough. Bombs planted, but the round's not won. And xFloud will take Eternal Fire to 13.
Oh, the MP9 is so good, man. If you can control the spray, it just fires so fast. It's like a lawnmower. It just cuts them down. And another clutch against EG. I mean, these are brutal rounds because EG did so much work to swing that back into their favor. They were running into a 3-man stack on B. The fact that they brought it to this position looked so good. And then xFloud just does that to you. And you have to try and bounce back again. We've got an AUG out from Calyx. See that too often nowadays. I like where the AUG is at. I feel like you see it very occasionally, and that's how much I want to see it, personally.
Yes, agree. It has a certain use case. The red dot on top. Lovely. Need to get myself one of those on the Picatinny rail. Eternal Fire.
I'm still an AUG player myself, for what it's worth.
I love the AUG. The problem is I forget to buy one a lot of the time. Have a look at this creep in from EG. Hex is able to trade, and that AUG is made to have a very awkward situation. Calyx able to unscope and still get the frag, though. You can feel the awkwardness in that duel. What is happening there? Hex gave one away for free. Santares annihilates all of them. That's an embarrassing way to lose a round. Not sure what else to say about that one. Cannot make assumptions like that. Jump through Electric, the most contested spot maybe on the map, with a grenade in your hand, post plant, and away you go. Just like that, a lightning retake from Eternal Fire. What just happened?
Also, you give Xantares the inch there. You give him the first free kill, and he's like, yeah, okay, you gave me the free fight, and now I'm just going to hit all the headshots. Yeah, I don't know, like, EG just snuck into B. It looked good. And then for some reason, they weren't ready for anyone to rotate. I don't know, man.
They've been flanked every round. Yeah, that's like when you're playing like Street Fighter on your local arcade and you think you're the top don. You go to Japan, and then everything you do gets punished. You're like, oh, I didn't know I couldn't do that, you know? It's kind of one of those situations.
Realize it's a whole different game.
That was a pretty bad one. That was a pretty bad one indeed. Again, they have the evidence of all the flanks that we've seen from Eternal Fire pushing through the A bomb site constantly. They do seem the more polished team, more capable team on Anubis. But that can't have been too much of a surprise.
Oh, Molly out from Calyx. Doesn't actually get the initial kill, but he'll make up for it with some clean shots, some clean taps. He takes over as the top fragger yet again for Eternal Fire. 15-6 for them now. We were saying earlier that the scoreline is unlikely to be worse than yesterday for EG, but this is pretty similar right now. They've done one round better than yesterday. Maybe they can get a few more, but it's not looking great for them.
Major chilling with 4 kills. I wonder how many flashes he's served up. Oh, we're seeing that push from Eternal Fire on that A bomb site as well. This is the kind of action that we just never saw from EG.
Oh, this maybe utility.
Yeah, it's really, really good. It requires it. Maybe it was a molly into a smoke up top to just take the map away. However, EG have found their way onto the B bomb site. Question is, can they hold it? That Molotov will certainly help, but they're down to 3 players now and they have to get that bomb planted very quickly indeed.
Oh, he's so blind. He's so blind, man. xFloud's going to get that kill all day long. It's just Hex remaining. He's got 1 frag, but he's got to get 2 more. Bomb may be recoverable. It's got some utility, but oh, they're going to swing him at just the right time. Eternal Fire take it 16-6. A comprehensive showing for them here on their map pick.
I think comprehensive is certainly a great word to describe that, especially with the contrast as well. They just had way more depth to their plays. Again, we saw the general lack of aggression on the CT side for Evil Geniuses. They had that one round where they had some timid aggression that was punished. So that was a very hard Anubis indeed. It's break time. We'll see if they can come back in the next map after the break.
That you bring, I will be standing cause I am the king, I am the lion, this is my jungle, like a gorilla, ready to rumble. All out till we take the crown, we ain't giving up, we ain't backing down, we the new money, about to rise up, time to move over cause your time's up. Way too hungry, never be denied, pain in my eyes, aiming for the skies, better sit down, better be humble, hope you ready, into the jungle. It's all around, ready for war now, standing on this ground, and we will not give up the crown. Fight until the end, we stay until we win. Y'all better bring it on, cause this is our battle song. Into the jungle, into the jungle, bring it on. What in the world, huh? You all on my nerves, huh? You never return, huh? When you enter in the jungle. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't got no fear. Ready, into the jungle. Into the jungle. Bring it on. What in the world, huh? You all on my nerves, huh? You never return, huh? When you enter in the jungle. I go home when I win. I'm alone when the wind blows.
I'm hoping I get advances, this increases chances. My life is like a prom, but there ain't no dances. I'm standing in this hall getting funny glances. I was raised as a youth, but was missing parents. I was raised by my granny, shit, I miss my granny. Hardly raised by my daddy, but I miss my daddy. Wasn't raised by my mother, but I miss my mother. I ain't get to know my mother, but I actually loved her. Strange.
Anubis is behind us. A strong showing from Eternal Fire. Two different ways to look at that map. We can start by our views on Eternal Fire's performance on Anubis. What did you think of it?
Yeah, I like to start with the positive. I thought they were fantastic. Just the difference in the way they would play throughout that T half. They knew when to switch it up with some faster plays. They always had utility to back up all of their plays. And They basically showed almost every aspect of what I would want to see from a team on the T side. And like I was saying earlier, the Major doesn't need to frag. If he just sets up the team like that, you've got the firepower on the team. You come away with so many rounds. They just looked so comfortable. And yeah, I don't know if I've seen a team as comfortable as this on Anubis. It was really cool to see.
Yeah, I think it was a great demonstration, especially the power of Major just being able to take a back seat and organize everybody. I think the cover they had on the map on the T side, the synchronization and aggression we saw on the CT side, the presence of mind to make those constant pushes and constant flanks was very, very good. But then moving on to Evil Geniuses, I think Eternal Fire certainly gave them a great example. And again, if they've got the time to look at the demos and be like, all right, there are so many things like missing from what we saw that they can just copy what Eternal Fire were doing to some degree, because again, we were constantly looking for that aggression on the CT side, which when it eventually came, it was a quite timid just poke out of the B bomb site, and I feel like, you know, that was punished and we didn't see much more than that. So I part of me is wondering if that is telling of Evil Geniuses from map to map. During the break, Hawk and I were discussing, like, what is a home map for Evil Geniuses? Looking at their stats in the last 3 months, Inferno and Overpass are the most played maps. Inferno was vetoed on this occasion, but Overpass is going to be the second map. So I think the study continues to find out where the best EG currently is in terms of the map pool, and if we're going to see it in this upcoming map.
Yeah, it's tough though, because like you were saying, we were really a little critical of EG for not making those information plays at the right time. It doesn't feel like the mentality is there for the players to just, you know, go ahead and say, I'm going to make this play occasionally. I think at least 1 or 2 times throughout a half, every player should be thinking, okay, I want to, you know, take a bit of a risk, but if it pays off, I can get big info, I can maybe win my fight. And on Overpass, that can be very important. That sort of mid-round timing for aggression, getting information across the map. That's something you kind of need. So I hope EG will be more comfortable on the map, and maybe that will help them with that, because Eternal Fire was showing us just the power of some of those pushes. They had those big rotations because they knew exactly what was coming.
We can take a look at Xantares' stats now and see how he has been doing. Now, we were considering a head-to-head, but we were like, well, what do we do on the EG side of things? Because everything is a question mark at the moment, but looking at Xantares, he's doing what Xantares does. Mr. Robot Aim himself continues to deliver. He and the rest of the squad did everything that Eternal Fire needed of them, everything that Major needed of them, and he will continue to be a problem on Overpass. You've seen some great highlights from him with an AK around the B-bomb site especially, so I don't think this gets any easier for EG as far as Xantares is concerned.
Yeah, definitely not. And we even saw, I mean, Calyx was also up there. I think Calyx ended just as top fragger, but Xantares had more ADR. So you can go either way with the 2 big hitters on the team, both performing. And then Immor on that AWP also having a pretty solid showing for himself. So all in all, everything that you would want from Eternal Fire coming through. And again, you don't need Major to frag when he's setting up the team like he was on that first map. Definitely a scary time here for EG. It always just feels like, you know, you might get like 1 or 2 EG players showing up, but we just never see the entire team come through, unfortunately. And I'm hoping for that here. I mean, I'm really hoping that Wiz can show us what he's made of, because he's just not really getting to show us what he can do with that AWP. And, you know, Overpass, normally a map where you have a lot of freedom around those bathrooms. We know a lot of AWPers love this map. James is someone who really enjoys playing Overpass especially, so I'm hoping that Wiz has something to show us here.
We will find out soon enough. We're going to head to a break, and then when we're back, we will have a lot of questions to be answered, hopefully by Evil Geniuses. Would love to see a third map, but will that happen or not? We'll find out very soon.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
we're back. Counter-Strike is in our DNA. It always has been, and it always will be. And now we are once more returning to where it all began.
Need a triple-double, told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Yeah, they don't want it done like I want it, dog. Yeah, they say they want it, then they took the summer off. I've been going down the list, checking numbers off. I was checking on your numbers, told them something's off. I was at the bottom, now you know I'm climbing. Now they sending deals, they know I ain't signing. They been trying to sell it, they know I ain't buying. When they send a text, dog, I ain't replying. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple-double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell.
Run it, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my been ready. Used to hold myself back, my self-esteem been petty. Gotta keep on chugging, ran through everything in front of me. Might smoke bed heavy, got a whole agenda. Can't aspire to get ahead, so bump that, it's no surrender. Got a dollar flipped up, I'm trying to get it in FT to get them when they're in hand and crypto. Learn how to fix that. I don't really hold out of books, but I'ma learn how to fix that. Some opportunities and never come unless you're paying attention. So no.
Hey Future Pros, let's take a look at a nice little A exec you can throw on the A side of Overpass. For this exec, you will need 2 Future Pros, 2 smokes, 2 mollies, and a couple of flashes. Future Pro number 1, you'll be throwing the bank smoke along with a molly for the truck. To throw your smoke, get into this back corner. Aim into the bricks and just to the right of this little brick. Then jump throw the smoke. For the molly, aim along the bottom of this wall in line with the shadow. Run forward, then walking jump throw the molly just as you get over the shadow. Then throw a basic flash behind your team to help them out. Future Pro number 2. You'll be throwing the stairs smoke along with a molly that lands next to the dice box. To throw the smoke, get in line with the right side of this beam and crouch down. Find the gap in the white spot and aim at this point and crouching jump throw the smoke. For your molly, aim just to the right of this brick and crouching jump throw also. Lastly, you'll throw the initial flash, which will help your team take space into the site. This is a nice execute and will make it hard for the CTs to play behind cover, also leading you to get the most out of your flashes.
We move to Overpass then. All eyes on EG once more. We've seen them play 10 games of Inferno recently with mixed results, about 50%. Same is true of Overpass. What is a home map for them? Where do they find identity? I'm hoping we see some here. We didn't really see it on Anubis. Credit to Eternal Fire for a great game. And maybe they will put out the fire of evil geniuses in this mid-bracket in this game of Overpass. The uphill struggle for EG continues. They managed to win a pistol in the previous map. Can they do the same here?
Let's hope so. Would be nice for them to get off to that good start. And especially on that T side of Overpass, not always the easiest side to play. But they will be hoping that, considering it's their map pick, they've got something up their sleeve here. Breeze has gone for that P250. And we also have a smoke and a flash on the back of Wiz. Getting underway into this one. Zantares having a little look towards mid, but I don't think he spotted much. And as it stands, Eternal Fire have a 4-man B stack, so they might need some information here if this A play were to come through. Also do have that kit at their disposal, though, so retake is a possibility here. As EG slowly but surely slink their way up A long. Slithering like a snake.
I would like to take this moment to point out that there is still no disabled toilet, despite there being a sign of one in that toilet area. I think I emailed Valve about it, they ignored it. EG charging into the A bomb site, coming through on along. Zantares with the taps, but he's not wanting to fall there. He wants to hold space for his team to rotate in, and that bomb's dropped again. Calix doing the work now. EG is starting to fight back. Emor's got the dualies around the truck position, and Automatics left as the last man standing. Hunting his position now, 32 seconds to find 3. Around the corner comes Emor, and Eternal Fire will take the pistol at the beginning of Overpass. They made it to the bomb site, but they weren't able to plant the bomb, EG.
Yeah, didn't make it much further. Solid team effort there from the Eternal Fire guys. Most of them getting involved on the hold. And for Evil Geniuses, it looks like a last-second decision to buy has been made. An acceptable amount of utility for them, is what I'll say. Be able to maybe get some map control. And we have that scout on the back of Wiz as well. We connector presence and some B-short control taken by Eternal Fire in this one. Got plenty of MP9s, so happy to go for some of those more aggressive angles, aggressive stances, getting into those close range positions. And it looks like Automatic apparently is the man who knows the nades. He's been given a bit more utility. Oh, what's the timing like for Emor here? They're going to sneak out into mid, but they're not going to be ready for the angle. So the MP9 cuts the first man down. Now EG don't seem to know how to deal with this player in connector. Just stopped in their tracks.
All just frozen together. And will eventually continue quietly creeping towards the A bomb site. Wiz will try to hold things down. He's carrying the bomb though, so not an ideal situation if Emor chooses to peek again. He'll be a little bit further behind his teammates. Better land that headshot, Wiz. Otherwise, you're going to be in some trouble. Emor spots the bomb and decides to start going. That's a lot of info for the team, and Calix is here to clean up afterwards. The positioning of Eternal Fire is fantastic, and it collapses once again. A slow mid-round from EG once more, and they are punished for it.
Punished big time. Zantares comes in with the final swing. And unfortunately for EG, it's not a swing and a miss. It's a swing and a big hit for Eternal Fire. A home run for them in this round. Emor and Connector just wreaking absolute havoc. Initially, Calix comes back to help. Those MP9s too hot for EG to handle this time round. Not much in this round for EG. Just the dig of Breeze and Neelan gets one last minute.
So we've heard that EG have been doing some work in the background. And I think if we're not going to see so much of it on Inferno, then surely Overpass is where we will see some of it, of course. This is an eco round. But we're talking about the buy rounds to come, essentially, be it T side or the CT side later on. Still looking for that measurable success. But I think the general style, the trend of those slower mid-rounds is true from map to map. But I'm sure they'll be building a map pool map by map, and hopefully Overpass will give us an indication of that. They'll be starved of oxygen in the third round as Eternal Fire take the fight to them. Not wanting to wait around any longer for these pokey, proddy plays from EG on their eco round. And now the game really begins. Wiz will have the AWP. Automatic pulling out the fourth AK-47, and we'll see what their default looks like, Evil Geniuses.
Hoping that they have the protocols in place. They have all the nades they could want. They have that AWP, so no excuses in this round. Bit of early utility by EG to extinguish the mid molly. And this is a pretty standard start to teams on their T side. Bit of nade damage done onto Wiz. You can see most of the players for EG focus towards A. You have to work a little harder to get that map control since there are some longer range angles to deal with. And they have to deal with Immor here. Good flash towards long. Immor still staying sticky in long bathrooms. Has to be a little careful he doesn't get snuck up on that left side. And now he's fine. Now they've spotted that AWP though. And Immor still in this position. That's a nice shot. Automatic taken out of commission. And EG unable to get that AWP out of that position.
Winning that duel is somewhat outrageous. Great setup for Eternal Fire as well. On that short B position, surely Calix gets one for free. They're not even checking for this. And neither is he for a second player. Starting to focus now. There are problems towards Monster as well. That's 1/3 of the information. We have the rotation here. 35 seconds on the clock for EG to find another frag. Smokes are up to cut the site in half. Xflav's got the info now. They'll make it really hard to plant this bomb. Getting into stronger and stronger positions, and that is such a risky play through the smoke. That smoke is there for a reason. That site is cut in half. That is really a wild play in a scenario such as this, maybe a desperation one. And I think this round has come to an end for Evil Geniuses. Their first buy round has failed on Overpass.
Yeah, this did not go anywhere near according to plan for EG. Just never really got anywhere close to the map control they would have needed. Couldn't get that AWP out of long bathrooms. Then this B short crossfire was pretty brutal. Weren't ready for Calix on that close angle. Eventually they clear him out, but it's still just not good enough. As they try and filter their way out towards the bomb site, they're unable to push with much conviction.
I don't know if Hext was trying to find a one-way over the smoke by jumping onto the barrels or something, but I think that attempt is an indication of the how bad that round was for EG. They'll go fast into the short B position, trying to catch somebody off guard, but Eternal Fire have changed their configuration. And when you see the CTs blow off that connector door, it makes it so hard to exist in that short B area, especially if you've got people creeping around connector. Really limits the places you can stand. Maybe this fast play into short B from EG was trying to catch Eternal Fire, setting up for that. But again, from round to round, their CT configuration changes, so you can't counter them that easily. But hey, EG have got some map control towards short B, and that's better than they were doing last round.
That's a start. Connector is also cleared out in this round. Oh, Immor holding this long-range angle. Can be pretty strong if someone tries to challenge. I thought we might see Wiz have a go, but they're deciding to come back to B, and look at the aggression from Eternal Fire, pushed all the way through Monster. That means they only have to be scared of short right now. They can fully focus this angle. Hex somehow able to get out here onto the bomb site. Major still in position with another frag, and he might just try and survive for as long as possible here. The rotate is starting to arrive. Major finally falls. That smoke goes down and it makes life awkward. The push comes in, but Immor able to land a shot from heaven. And now Wiz has two different players to deal with, but at least he can get that bomb down.
Oh, I was about to say opportunity knocked, but before I could even get the first word out, his position was compromised. And again, in the matches we've seen so far in Pro League of Evil Geniuses, there's that odd round here and there that they win when They've got mostly pistols and maybe one rifle, and that was looking to potentially be it, but it wasn't. The bomb plant will certainly help. If they plant the bomb with max loss bonus, they can buy every round. That's the only thing really going for them at present. Now, in that interview that Yakindar did with James, he said, looking at the NA squads, that if you default, play for information, take a decision, you'll get naded and die. I do wonder if we'll see that to some degree. Of course, it's not Inferno where that might be the worst of it, but we'll see if EG will be playing in that kind of style. Default, slow things down. Overpass can be a slow map, especially if the CTs show some presence upstairs. So much area, so many angles that you have to clear. And we saw the problems already trying to clear Emor from this spot. He's there to go back there once again. The run boost now, he'll miss the flick, but what's the second play? Could probably fall back with that smoke grenade. Is he wanting to outstay his welcome, or will he fall all the way back to the site?
Flash has gone over towards A-Long there. Automatic just having a little look. Here is xFloud finally looking to activate, clearing out these close quarters. Snuck all the way through. BG come back towards B. The first warning system could be this push, and the timing is perfect. Calyx now in connector, looking to just deny this rotation entirely. And they're coming back towards A briefly. Ooh, Xantares is in behind them here. They don't realize bomb gets dropped. A second player falls, and EG getting lost in the mid-round again. Breeze can do nothing to deal with Xantares. Automatic still far away from that bomb with 20 seconds remaining. He'll start to come back. He might get the chance for a fight here, but 15 seconds. There's the headshot. Can he get back to the site in time, though? He doesn't think so. He's looking for the fight right now, but Xantares is long gone. He's gone all the way back to A-Long, and there's no chance for the fight. Automatic has to just save to live to fight another day. It is now 6-0 Eternal Fire. They can do no wrong right now.
It's almost like there's a window in the round where they just keep pushing against evil geniuses, and they're just not ready for it. They don't have the coverage. They keep getting caught off guard, but I feel like it's the same kind of window. We saw it on the previous map. We're seeing the same thing again. That mid to late round, CT start to get curious, start to think, all right, they're probably setting up, probably lining up these grenades. We saw Hex caught again outside Monster. That's going to be super frustrating for him. But if they are willing to play even later rounds, and maybe they can punish some of these pushes, I don't know, but we'll see. Once again, it's one of those funky rounds with a sniper, a Galil, and some pistols. These are rounds that tend to be more flowing by some measures for EG. They'll lose one of those pistols early as Eternal Fire have gone back to aggression in short B.
See if EG can find any way in here with their limited utility. Won't be easy for them. We did see yesterday some rounds from Kicker where he was just able to entry Monster dry, but you see the aggressive fight from Eternal Fire not allowing that to happen. Oh, Automatic misses his shot. xFloud puts him down. And Eternal Fire win another comfortable round.
Back to a buy then. Tactical timeout first from EG. Can they identify the point in the round where things seem to be going wrong for the squad? That is the question that I am asking. You can see some chat from the back again, playing their same pace. But again, it's like, I do wonder if it's that territory of the default into decisions, and in between, the punishes are coming through from Eternal Fire. Wiz and Hex, I believe, don't have that many kills. I think they've got 1 kill each, which is not ideal, really, with the amount of rounds that we've got. Indeed, the new mans are struggling versus Eternal Fire, who have mostly only died 2 times each. Calyx with some extra work in that regard. But anyway, we'll see if this could be the first round for EG. Xantares will be in a connector position, having a look towards that short B tunnel. I like the timing. Tried to stop him, tried to slow him down. 16 HP will have to do.
That's a little more like it from EG, stopping some of the early plays from Eternal Fire. At least making sure that the map control isn't as against them early. They've also had issues when it has come to the mid-round. Maybe something a little faster could be the solution to that. They're going for this contact play through Monster. Eternal Fire have taken a bit of a risk here, leaving just 2 CTs on B. That actually makes this somewhat vulnerable right now on towards this bomb site. You see a lot of ground gained here by EG. Maybe a chance to make something happen in this round. Certainly putting the pressure on.
There's the angle Hex was looking for previously, I do believe. Essentially a one-way over the smoke. This time xCloud is busy elsewhere. xCloud delivering from the side though, finding 2 of the M4A4 and it's given Eternal Fire a man advantage, quickly dealt with by Breeze, who's looking for the second one as Antares with that AWP due to his low health and Breeze hunting for him. Antares knows it. Down to the pistol. This is getting absolutely crazy now. Breeze still hunting, just can't find the angle. He's so low, but this has wasted so much time. Wiz in the water now. Xantares still here. Orb versus Orb, stuck in that corner. 15 seconds to plant the bomb, and he's creeping. Breeze couldn't find him. What a way to win a round. Just entertaining them, pulling them away from the site like a magnet, but he just couldn't make that one connection. He had 16 HP almost the whole round. Just couldn't find that last bullet.
Yeah, he saw a little grin from Xantares at the end there after he realized that he got away with that one. And that the flawless streak has continued for Eternal Fire. I feel like there was maybe some talk about Kassad saying if anyone 16-0'd EG, he might give them another little bonus. Not sure if that applied to everyone or if that was just for the Cloud9 series, but you know, we're not maybe getting to that point yet. We are starting to get that.
We need a podcast of the interested parties on how they think you go about fixing the EG squad. Let's keep it positive.
Well, there's not much that they have to work with in this round, unfortunately. You'd at least want 1 or 2 flashes to be able to pop that AK out into a site, maybe get an entry that way. But Automatic is someone who can sometimes find those nice timing windows, catch some CTs off guard. And this B site has shown some weaknesses recently from Eternal Fire, has shown the ability that it can be opened up. Especially with this similar setup where it's 2 CTs on B initially.
xCloud is, oh, he doesn't have the angle to throw a HE grenade. That would have been interesting, but Calix has got such a good lineup, it might not even be needed. Cleaning up the mess, xCloud now, and Automatic is in a 1 versus 3. xCloud getting around the corner. That will allow the bomb to be collected at the very least. Spotted on the site as the grenade starts to stream in now. This really leaves him limited, trying to get anything he can, but now he's got to commit to the bomb plant. Maybe he gets a kill, maybe he doesn't. But their bonus money will not be had. They don't need it on this occasion, though. Another awkward situation for EG. Still looking for their first round on the board. And again, as we said, looking at the maps they've played recently, it's been Overpass and Inferno, 10 maps apiece. I hadn't seen much of an identity for EG on Inferno. We're hoping to see some in Overpass, but we haven't seen a round 1 just yet.
Oh, maybe trying the run boost. Didn't quite work. Hoping that they could get that peek into mid. Meant to be on this occasion. Alex again getting inquisitive, investigating towards being short. Seen that in quite a few rounds now. Again, it is an Eternal Fire team in pretty good form. They're very warmed up after playing a lot of Counter-Strike recently. I know they were playing the RMR qualifier and recent LAN event in Malta. Been here preparing ahead of Pro League. Really, that preparation has paid off with the way they're playing right now. Timor's got to be a little careful. He is completely alone here with the AWP. Now starting to sneak up on him. He'll use that smoke as cover to get back. Now he does have some players back towards the site to help him.
Two-man push on B from Eternal Fire again. That aggression is so well timed from them. They will lose E-more towards the safe bomb site. But how fast will that rotation come? The flank is on the way. And these smokes will certainly help. You can see them trying to make the flashes come through. And this will go in their favor finally. They're looking good now for a round. EG. Still need to get that bomb planted though. Calix, the last man standing for the squad now. He'll get caught with his knife out by Automatic. We saw some tight variance as the T's pushed that smoke, but they finally forced their way onto a bomb site. But again, the CTs were getting that information, couldn't get there in time, but they're on the board. They don't have a 0 anymore as far as overpass is concerned, but there's so much more work to do.
Yeah, that's a little more like it though. Able to take enough map control towards A and, you know, importantly, getting a pretty quick push towards the bomb site this time round. Not wasting any time. Once they got those clean entries, that's good timing on the flash to make sure that Hext is safe, taking that standard map control early. Is waiting for a boost that won't be coming. Eternal Fire feel like they've got the information they needed. Still, again, solid early presence here from EG in this position. How this boost does come. Hext, the man watching for it, got a dink through the wall. So instantly, Calix has to turn away. This is a little better from EG, dissuading Eternal Fire from going for some of those mid-round aggressive plays that have been so good for them. Now with 53 seconds left, they'll group back up towards A.
Eternal Fire saw one player when they went for that reboost, though, on that short B position, and they're rotating a third man over towards the A bomb site now. Calix and Xflad will be left on B. They start to see the grenade stream in, and E-more has an angle. There's Hex to be picked off. If they put some smokes towards the front of the site, it's going to be really hard for EG to push. MP9 prevailing once again as Major gets involved, and 3 EG players remain. Continuing for the flashes to come through. We've got flashes on both sides, but Neelan will lead by example on this occasion. 17 seconds to plant the bomb, and Neelan finds himself in a 1 versus 3. He is surrounded, one at the back and multiple at the front. E-more delivers again for his second frag of the round, and Eternal Fire straight back to winning ways, 10-1. That was the round for EG to break Eternal Fire and put them on eco. They really needed that consecutive round. Didn't get there, though.
Yeah, that would have been so nice, but not meant to be. E-more did a really nice job at getting away with that first kill. And Major arriving with the rifle alongside him. Second timeout taken by Evil Geniuses. They do still have enough money for a somewhat reasonable buy. It has been the Eternal Fire show so far in this series. A reminder that this wouldn't be the end of the road for the losing team. There is still the Group A last chance stage, currently in the mid-bracket, after both these teams lost their opening games. Both of them having pretty tough matchups, though, has to be said.
I know what the solution is for Evil Geniuses.
Here we go.
They need threats. They need to open the... I know they've got money. We all know they've got money. They need to open the checkbook, give Threat everything he needs, pay him an absurd amount of money to pull him out of Sweden. He will fix everything. Calix having a look. He's good for 2. Made the play we saw from Xantares earlier, but this time, right place, right time. Xantares now covering Monster as Nina looks to creep through this smoke with Breeze. Maybe to get a trade here, but Major is also here. Got to be careful with this timing now. Edging forward, nobody by the barrel. Major really didn't engage. Swinging on to Xantares, but Major's good enough for both. And that one is a brief one indeed. But again, back to my point. Honestly, I think someone like at the level of threat could instill strats in the teams, an idea about how to think about the game and so on, fix the pacing, all of that stuff. Just throw the checkbook at him. If you want to fix the team, give him a 6-month contract even, so he knows he can go back to Sweden afterwards. Just give us a structure that we can build on. Something like that needs to happen here, in my opinion. Anyway, 11-1, EG on the pistols.
I don't mind that. Getting someone with, someone who's just going to take the project by the helm and just give them that full control. That is maybe what is needed. Pretty solid showing here from Eternal Fire. The spray as effective there from Xfloud this time, but Calyx able to double down. Maybe some recoverable rifles here out towards Monster. There is an M4 into the hands of Automatic. They put that smoke down onto the site, so the information has been taken away from the Eternal Fire players. They might start to realize, though, the fact that the bomb hasn't been planted means someone is going to have to make sure that they look back up towards that A-bomb site soon.
Off to the races. There's still an AWP, though. Currently holding a position. Major's playing the bank spot. So that's just a safe play to see if anybody crosses towards truck. So if the retake is there, you know what is compromised and what is not. There is a smoke for Automatic. Zantara is starting to wonder as well. 27 seconds on the clock. Desperation for EG as they try to find another round with a funky buy. Edging forward as they do. Where are these CTs? Just wasting a lot of time for them. Well, they found Major. Zantares chooses to swing. Perfect timing for him. Won't wait around for Automatic either. And we reach 12 for Eternal Fire.
It's clean, it's crispy, it's Zantares coming through with the round for Eternal Fire. Flashes were pretty solid here to get the initial kill, but Calyx also close by onto Monster, definitely made a difference. See Zantares just doing what Zantares does best towards the end there. You don't want to give that man an AK on the CT side. He will make you pay. Still a buy for EG, still chances. Again, Automatic is generally having some pretty decent showings. That is so annoying. Just get spammed through the wall. Calyx knows his lineups.
Eternal Fire looking very synchronized. Again, a good level of average experience across the team. But indeed, they do look like a well-oiled machine. And again, it's just the edgy, jiggly, puggy plays that we're seeing on the other side of things for EG. It's like they've been released in a forest and hunted by Eternal Fire, the way this round is playing out. The bomb's been lost as well. What is there even for the remainder to do? 102 HP between Wiz and Hext. New men of the squad. But again, in terms of the work they have been doing, still wondering what that might be. Because I don't know that it's translating into the server. But again, against a team with the level of synchronization of Eternal Fire, that's going to be really hard. But I mean, that's what Counter-Strike is.
Yeah, it's never easy. Now, if you were just pugging, then it would be fine. But you're going against well-coordinated teams. That's the tough thing. Everyone is trying very, very hard. So even when you are putting all your time and effort into it, you can have results like this where it just doesn't go your way. And those are the rough positions where you've got to find a way to continue fighting, continue working hard. That's the only way you're going to get out of it. Eternal Fire looking very relaxed right now. I like that we've got the advanced hand warmers now, the little electric ones. You can see Imor holding one of them. I remember back in the day at school, for me, they used to be the little ones that had, like, I don't know what they even had in them. But they would be like the one-use ones with little beads in them or something.
If you had hand warmers at school, that is so bougie.
Yeah, man. There was a little time period where everyone was having them. For some reason, it was like a craze at our school. Had to have one to be a cool kid, James.
Cool kids at my school had hammers and knuckle dusters. My school is different to your school.
We are not the same.
Not everybody survived.
I don't know if
I don't know
what's going to survive this series.
Yeah, what does survival look like on the T half here for EG? Maybe 5 rounds? 6? Who knows? 1? Probably not. But again, like win or lose, it doesn't really matter to me. I just want to see signs of progress for the long term. But again, I feel like map to map, their C sides are being exploited by CTs just pushing in the mid rounds. 40 seconds again. And it is dry peaks, 1 by 1. Just a dry peak in isolation. Wiz behind him with the bomb. It doesn't seem to be that much of a coordinated plan. Just very pokey proddy, 25 seconds, and seems to be Neelan's turn to edge forward towards A.
It's open right now. Oh, that smoke timing is so annoying. Major arrives at just the right time. The CT smoke down, tries to go through it. Now the bomb surely should be planted, and Breeze lands another shot. Oh, he almost got caught in the back, but he gets back to safety. And Wiz just desperately looking for this fight, but it's not going to favor him. It has to be Breeze to come through with a big play here, and Calix has been caught. It's up to xFlow, but he's gone for the long flank, and Breeze is aware of it. He's aware of the possibility here. Focused fully on this left side. He tucks into the corner to play for time. xFlow forced into the open, and Breeze makes the big play. A second round secured for EG. Still more work to be done though, and we'll see if they can come through with any more success after the break.
From a planet, the only one that got A's on them. My team got trophies and medals for rolling tanks on them. I'm rocking them Stone Cold Undertaker and Kane, homie.
Run them up, run them up. I run with some goons, they pulling up. Looking for a problem, ooh, that's us. We get on the field and run them up, ayy, run them up, run them up. I run with some goons, they pulling up. Looking for a problem, ooh, that's us. We get on the field and run them up, ayy.
Ain't no breaks, we a 4-5 series. I'm a dog, got that K9 in me. Count the calls, y'all boys worth no pennies. Who else like us? I don't see none any. New drug back in the way. All places that rotate. Y'all seem gon' locate. I ain't catch no win of that. Snap pass and I run it back, and they young man is a running back. Oh, ain't no holding back, so here I go. Gas like BPA, out my way. Play too smart with a GPA. Keep it brief like a black suitcase, and there ain't no time. Hold up, it's too late. We ball hog no ham, and I know it ain't fair, but we just do not care, and all y'all staring while we
run them up, run them up. I run with some goons, they pulling up. Looking for a problem, ooh, that's us. We get on the field and run them up, ayy, run them up, run them up. I run with some goons, they pulling up. Looking for a problem, ooh, that's us. We get on the field and run them up, ayy.
Yeah. Went and beat the odds, they thought I was insane. They was sleeping on me, they was sleeping on me. Went and beat the odds, they thought I was insane. They was sleeping on me, I was meeting Ben Frank.
I've been tying up my hands, booking flights, setting trend.
I was meeting Ben Frank.
I've been tying up my hands, booking flights, setting trend.
Catch me in a two-seater, Grim Reaper.
We back. We back. We are back. We continue. I was trying to say two things at once there. We continue watching an EG team who are still struggling for an identity. I feel as an observer here of the goings on of the proceedings. They have 2 rounds from their T side, and again, even in the rounds they got, like look at that last one, that was somewhat all over the shop. So I don't know that we saw anything. We haven't seen any like positive takeaways just yet, but maybe they can have a change of fortune in this pistol now. Neelan on automatic, putting in some work as the fight is around the playground. 4 versus 2, looking good thus far.
Ooh, that's more like it for EG. Automatic is the one player I have seen the most out of on this EG side. Nice and reliable there with a couple of nice kills. Let's see if Major can do anything. Completely surrounded and run down by Wiz. So the pistol comes through. That is what we needed to see from EG. And hopefully a sign of things to come for them. Normally is much easier to play the CT side of Overpass, especially if you play at home. If you ever play the Pugs, I'm sure you're aware how annoying some of the angles can be to clear if you don't have all the nades down. So hoping that EG can keep it up in this one. And they are against Glocks in this subsequent round. Another scenario where Eternal Fire are happy to take that full-on save.
So far, so good. 1 round at a time. T-side was a non-starter. Maybe the CT side is where the easier time of things lie. I imagine with the younger players as well, the CT side is going to be the easier side to play. Certainly seen that with the timing. Good support here as the reload comes in. It's a FAMAS party. And EG move to 4. Well then, now the test begins. Eternal Fire, we're going for the rifles ASAP. Major with the scout will be interesting. He'll have plenty of utility to support his team, but the tests are here early for Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, straight in with some rifles on the Eternal Fire side. You get the AKs out, so you have to deal with pretty decent utility alongside the aim on display from these Eternal Fire players. Early smoke allows quick pace into mid for Eternal Fire. You don't have the AWP here on the EG side, so long-range fight might not be advised for Wiz with that FAMAS in his hands. Speaking of long-range fights, it is a long that is being pressured right now by Eternal Fire. No one there from EG to stop that from happening. So EG will sit a bit further back. This is a pretty standard way to play on the CT side. Just look for that info towards long, and now that Wiz has spotted it, he can respond with some utility. Or maybe even just try and hold this crossfire on the site with 3 CTs in possession.
.40-second mark. And again, we saw the proactiveness a lot of the time from Eternal Fire on their CT side. Of course, there'll be more polish on their T side to deal with pushes. But EG will be waiting in response. That is a great time for that smoke grenade. There could be a swing with a flash here. Emor's turn to go straight through the smoke, and That'll prove very costly indeed. The bomb's on the way as well. You can see Calyx is waiting for distraction from his teammates to try and make a play through that smoke. A double peek comes through, and have a look at those frags. Beautiful synchronization, but the job's not done just yet. More of EG here. 8 seconds to plant this bomb. That might not happen. They've got to be real fast. X dashing forward. They're going for the CT plant. He's gone the wrong way, though.
No time.
Oh, he's won. That was such a close calculation. He's robbed around, escaping. That was such a marginal decision to make, but he just suddenly dashed out of there, and Evil Geniuses will squeak by on that one.
Oh man, Eternal Fire for once getting stressed in the late round. This was the kill that I thought was going to be the difference maker, but they just didn't know what side was safe to plant on. They end up just taking half a second, less than that, too long to try and get that bomb planted. And well, it wasn't pretty, but it is another round for EG. They'll take what they can get at this point. And instantly, Eternal Fire wanting to talk things over. As soon as a round goes like that for them, they're happy to let the coach have a talk with the team. I believe it is, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Faber? Fabre? One of the two. I should have just not tried to pronounce it. I should have just said the Eternal Fire coach. Yeah, just keep trying more pronunciations until I get it right.
Major will take the scout from Xantares and give him an AK in return. They want to keep the pressure up here on EG. That molly, it can be quite a nuisance because it can mean an aggressive play towards party, which forces you to expend mollies to clear it, as we can see on the radar. Eternal Fire will be doing exactly that. Automatic will punish them, though. Nicely done. That's the kind of start we want to see from EG.
Yeah, definitely a solid start there. Automatic is really starting to show up now. And, oh, dangerous fight for the Scout of Major against the AWP of Wiz. Able to get away with it this time. See Automatic really feeling this map. I feel like this map is suited to him. He knows when to make these sorts of plays, and he spots the back, but doesn't pull the trigger. He's just going to call to his teammates. It's time to reinforce the B bomb site. Time to be ready for the push, and that's why they put this smoke down. If they can stall here, Automatic is still on that long flank. I don't know if they can stall long enough, but the info should be enough for them to set up this hold successfully.
He could catch them in the tunnel if this timing works out. Such a long rotation. Automatic's the man with the last smoke grenade. The push comes through now, and the urgency has to rise here. Bree starts things off, but they are absolutely stuck in that tunnel now. Automatic will help out Hext, and 3 will survive. That's the kind of proactiveness we haven't always seen from EG on their CT side. Starting to rise on Overpass, and maybe this could be their signature map, if you will. Like the beginning, the building blocks can start on Overpass. Again, looking at their maps played, it's between Overpass and Inferno in the last few months, but Inferno we hadn't seen much, but maybe we're seeing a hint of something here on Overpass as they try to make a comeback on the CT side.
And the hope has to be seeing plays like that come through, seeing Automatic make that sort of flank happen, allows the rest of the team to start to build in confidence alongside him. You want more of those sorts of plays. See if they can continue. Automatic off to a good start again. It's just the pistols in this one for Eternal Fire. But these can be dangerous in the right circumstances. Swings down on Monster, but here come the flashes. Oh man, they're so blind, but Immor has been handled. And the CT is looking solid now on the hold. So EG will get their 7th round win.
This is super important for their cash as well, of course, in case they're going to have some expensive rounds later on. This will help them be stable, and that's going to be important because Eternal Fire are quite obviously the better squad from top to bottom. So they're going to need all the help they can get. All 5 surviving is all they could ask for in that round. Another one secured for EG. Now I do wonder what kind of different configurations we'll see of their CT side still showing enough presence, as we know they like to be passive. But against Eternal Fire, that could end up being a curse for them. 6-round deficit now. Usual utility. Nice nade from Wiz. Staying a little longer around Party this time, but going back to his usual position. Automatic trying to fight for Connector. He'll be stuck here for a while, it looks like. So he might not be able to get out from above. And once that smoke is gone, you can see the help is coming in. Oh no, Automatic through the smoke. I think they were trying to save him, trying to give him a route out of that Connector position, and it proved to be so expensive for them.
Yeah, that is, again, some crisp aim on display from Xantares. Flank from Automatic, not even needed. Neelam wide swings. So even though it started out poorly here for EG, they found a way back. Now Automatic has all that map control on the other side.
He heard that rotation as well.
Yeah, he should have. There is still the ability for the bomb to go down Connector. I don't know if that's going to happen, though, with 40 seconds remaining. It looks like Eternal Fire are pretty set on this A bomb site.
33 seconds on the clock. Automatic could thwart a default plant a bit later on. Major creeping forward. Wiz is known now, but where's that AWP? Wiseman's got the M4. So many questions. X-Floud being delayed. The timing's working for EG. He's going to head for that default plant now, and surely Automatic appears at the right time. Goes for the taps. Gets him off the bomb at the very least, but he's got time to plant elsewhere. Go for a funky one. Catches Neela now. Everything changes. He can plant confidently for CT and finds himself in a 1v1. Looking for Automatic immediately and swinging again. No respect shown by X-Cloud as he eventually falls back. Automatic has a kit, but he's got to find X-Cloud. He could still be on the site. He could be banked. He could be over here by the garbage as well. Not an easy one. Sound cues being given away. X-Cloud comes back, but Automatic just baits him to peek and then domes him for an 8th round for EG.
It's all Automatic right now for EG. Whenever they need him, he is the man stepping up. I feel like Neelam went a little too soon after that bomb was fake planted. Wanted to just quickly push in, but if he'd have waited a couple of seconds, it'd have been really hard for that bomb to go down. Instead, he appears so soon. The bomb can get planted. It makes it difficult for Automatic on the retake, but he still finds a way to make it work. And this is the sort of promising sign we wanted to see for EG. I think everyone in NA knows how good Automatic can be. I always just love his feel for the game. We have seen that in some of these recent rounds, despite the early efforts from Xantares. EG's starting to put up a fight now. And Eternal Fire do need to make sure they don't hit a brick wall here on the T side. They're getting into pretty good positions. They still need to close this one out. They had a massive lead at the half, 32. EG putting together a streak here.
Yeah, we're seeing some traction finally from Evil Geniuses. And again, that round where they had everybody alive will certainly help rebuy everything they needed to in this round. They don't want to have another expensive round again. Eternal Fire, of course, at the edge of their economy as well. Pop Flash and Automatic is ready to deal with Connector. Xantares around that short B position. Maybe they could try and catch Automatic late. They can. Lacking the presence in short B to give Automatic the cover he's looking for there. Able to dodge, well, I mean, it did cost them 2 players in the previous round, but they were still able to come out on top. Breeze trying to hunt Xantares down. Now, that's information as well. And we can see that Bob is immediately rotating towards B based on Breeze's push of Monster.
Now 45 seconds. Eternal Fire decide it's time to stay grouped up. That means any information plays elsewhere could be costly for them. Doesn't look like EG want to go for any further aggression, though, now that Breeze has made it back. And, oh, Shadow spotted certainly for Hex there. He can time this incendiary wisely. There's no way through for Eternal Fire. They have to wait out the flames the entire time. That's going to leave them so low on the clock. Hext playing up on the site decides just to drop down because they know the time is so low here. 10 seconds. Neelan fighting. Bree still in position. They haven't cleared him out. They have to plant on the far side, but they're going to get the bomb down. Xantares with the all-important shot, and it leaves it on Wiz. He's looking for the fight, and Xantares swings into him. Big clutch from Wiz, and EG just keep on clutching.
Big plays from Wiz. Great for him as well as an individual. That confidence. Xantares tried to catch him at an awkward spot as he's jumping down, but Wiz was ready for it. Waited just long enough, and he's got the flick as well. They keep stringing the rounds together, EG, which is great to see. This is the kind of traction we were looking for. Some of these rounds have been expensive, but they keep bringing them together, and that's the important thing. They've got some problems on short B to solve if they want to continue winning these rounds, but they are putting the right foot forward. With the bomb plant, Eternal Fire will have a buy once again. The AK's right, the AWP is out. Again, another round where only one player survives from EG. If they are to be broken, they are going to be in the bin in the worst way, especially with the score of Eternal Fire. So they really have to keep winning these rounds.
Yeah, pressure has been on them in every single one of these rounds. But so far, they have been able to step up under trying circumstances. I'm surprised it felt like Xantares was the one feeling the pressure there with that wide swing on the side of the pillar. Eternal Fire early in this one, grouped up towards A long. Flash will give the game away, though. EG will have heard that, and they will start to react accordingly. Neelan just looking for that information. There's not too much utility left, but that boost was a lovely idea, trying to catch the jumping player. Neelan able to get away on this occasion, and now the utility ready onto this A-bomb site.
Really dumping the util. See how deep Wiz chooses to go with this flash. There's so many targets, he'll take two. Collateral's always nice, going back to the well for another one. Super scoped in, nice flick from Wiz, and that's 3 for 3. This one is turning into a disaster for Eternal Fire. The bomb is now isolated. The timing for Wiz, though, comes off the scope. He knows he's exposed to bullets as well. Where Xantares is creeping around, trying to catch that bomb. At least they can see where it is. 9 seconds, and Eternal Fire have been thwarted again. EG about to hit double figures.
This counter utility has been so solid from EG. Eternal Fire don't know how to bait these nades out. These incendiaries are landing as the pushes are being attempted. And this can sometimes happen to teams that don't play overpass much. You can struggle to close games on that T side. It's not always easy to find ways in. You have to do a lot of legwork just to get towards that A-bomb site. By the time they try to commit, they don't have that much utility left. They're pushing through flames. They need another timeout here. And EG, you've got to be growing in confidence round by round, especially after that one. That's a round where you've got such a nice read on the situation. Much more comfortable round win compared to some of the previous clutches. Some of the other players starting to show up alongside Automatic. Good impact from Wiz in recent rounds. Eternal Fire have gone pretty much all in on this buy, and it is not ideal, but they're all out to B early. Could be a change of pace here for the T side.
Xantares, so dangerous around this bomb site. His aim is so amazing to watch. So efficient, looking for all the targets, but on this occasion, Neelan will deal the first blow. Looking good for EG now as it's Eternal Fire in the meat grinder. Emor in the clutch, 1 versus 3. Oh, Wiz with a big headshot. Coming to life towards the end here as the string of rounds continues for EG. This is the success we have been looking for from game to game, from map to map, from match to match. 2 more rounds until they can tie the score. Eternal Fire are on their last timeout.
I feel like Eternal Fire are going to be sitting here wondering where this came from. Where's the pressure come from? It felt so cool. It felt so calm. Not just throughout the first map, but throughout the first half of this map. It looked like it was going to be another whitewash. But so far, this CT side has been flawless from EG. And Eternal Fire have had a couple of chances. They just have not been able to make the most of them.
They haven't won a single round in this half, I don't believe.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was 13-2 at the half.
Let's go. This is what we want to see. And the hard way makes it even better. Some signs of life from Evil Geniuses, a pulse as they continue to defend. Maybe Eternal Fire will have an even worse time of things than Evil Geniuses did on the T side of Overpass. With 0 rounds thus far, that certainly seems to be true, but there's more work for EG to do. They've built some more money, they've padded themselves a little bit, but again, they need to survive in the numbers if they can. Awkward angle for Wiz to re-peek, and he's got to be careful here. Oh, he's missed a sitter.
Should still be a good enough position for them. On the EG side, Wiz will decide to tuck back. And yeah, you've got to think that AK is going to go into someone else's hands now that Immor has taken damage. Xantares, a fitting player to pick it up. The fabled Xantares peak could be at the ready, but Wiz able to handle it. He is fairly committed here though, and low on health. Got to be at least a little concerned. Wiz smoked down, missed shot, and now it's Nealon on the site. Oh, it's an incendiary from his teammate that's just landed on him. Automatic, not helping his teammate out, but the bomb has been dropped on the site. That's a lovely shot from Calix. Automatic has to step up again, but he gets run down. This hero AK starting to shine now. Breeze tries to make something work, but it's not going to happen for him. It's all on Hexed. And he's got 3 separate angles to deal with here. They're not going to fight him. They're not going to give this away for free. They're going to force him to come to them. Calix, first contact in the corner. He goes down. Hex has to try and adjust, but Immor wide swings him from the other side. And just when it looks like EG are going to continue their streak, Eternal Fire finally win their first T round.
So awkward for Wiz. A few important shots missed, but also just on an island around the toilets, holding down multiple jobs, having to smoke his right-hand side and try and get his AWP out and be comfortable on the left-hand side as well. It's just like a very brittle setup when you have to hope that nobody peeks you while you smoke your right-hand side. Your AWP shouldn't be doing that in a position like that. Calamity for EG. Again, they don't really have too many rounds they can lose. And just like they've been winning the unlikely rounds with the pistols and the hero AK, the same will finally be done to them, but at a much more crucial time. They would have a round like that where they're clawing for an odd round, and Eternal Fire are clawing for a victory in the series. A trade, and Automatic is lost in connector once again.
Both teams taking a second to breathe after that initial exchange. Eternal Fire will try and make the first move back with the boost. Breeze was watching. I think he's just gone off the angle though. Does Xantares hold this? Does Breeze even give away the angle? That's still information for Eternal Fire though. That's a couple of angles cleared. And now some nades will be prepared. They're trying to see if they can flush out some of these angles. That close position, not one being played. 35 seconds now, they have to make a move, and elsewhere, Nealon's getting info over towards A. They might know it's a B play here. EG have this setup in play.
This is the kind of EG we've been looking for, but they still need to deliver on the site as well. Hex trying to block in the smoke, Breeze is here by the pillar, and Wiz can clear up of that position. Immor with the trade, Wiz here again when he needs to be. 16 seconds, spotted the last player now. Just get him off the bomb plant. That is the main thing. Stay alive and get him off the bomb plant. Nealon moving into position to save Wiz, being the bait. And they're back again. EG moves to 12. After that blip, after allowing Eternal Fire to get to 14, they're back with the CT rounds once again.
Yeah, able to get a good stack onto this B site. So Automatic there just about going 1-for-1 early, which certainly helped. And then even though it can be difficult as the CTs, when you're down into a 4v4, it can be tricky to know where you need to stack. You have to take some risks. You have to take some liberties. EG had 3 players on that B bomb site. And so even though the initial trades were fairly even, that's all they needed. They had 3 players lying in wait. They're able to bring it into a 2v1 where it's just impossible for Immor to get that bomb planted, to get into an advanced position. So nice that EG fans have something to get excited about here. 14-12, the comeback is very real. And Eternal Fire can tell you that firsthand right now. These are the rounds that can sometimes be weirdly scary, though. It's 2 AKs for Eternal Fire with some pistols. This is the sort of round they might just loosen up, try and allow some of those individuals to shine.
There's some info for them. They know where the AWP is. Automatic, playing high risk again. He's got the sound cues, though. Awkward. Wants to, that will certainly help. Able to fall back as well. Spodex flabbed and the bomb as he moves to the other side of the Divider. Really using his experience to make things easier for the squad on this occasion. He's got the rifle, the AWP support now in the toilets. Breeze will come in from the back, and then there was one. Xantares versus 4. Full health with an AK-47. Excuse me. I'll make no assumptions until he's expired, but he has indeed been expired. No bomb plant this time, but they're not short of money, Eternal Fire, of course.
Yeah, they're chilling. They're all good. They've got themselves pretty much a full buy here. Automatic has just been excellent throughout this second half. If EG are to win this map, they need to thank him. Buy him a present, buy him something. He deserves it. 27 kills right now. The best player on the server. Ooh, good effort from Wiz, trying to take that fight on towards mid with confidence. Not able to land that shot on the tight angle this time. This is a nice thing about Overpass, though. You can fall back. You can have more angles with that AWP. Automatic, this time in connector. Could get isolated if he's not careful. They've spotted him, and he will be dealt with. Wiz, in the meantime, at least able to find the trade. And he's still sticking around in the bathrooms. This is the sort of confidence we like to see.
This is a relatively early loss of Automatic, though. And I think his position in connector, around short B connector itself, upper area as well, has been so important. So this is a significant loss of map control for EG. We saw how important he was in the round where they had 2 AKs. I think that this could be quite scary for them. XC's 1 player around that short B position. Major has been dropped. Immor needs to collect the bomb. With only 3 Ts remaining, that significantly improves things for EG. Gives Eternal Fire less maneuverability. Makes things awkward for them, but they still have Xantares, and we know how much he can pop heads. Wiz will continue to reside in an aggressive position, and I like that they're putting him in these confidence positions. We've seen some shots missed, but they're still putting him in a spot where he needs to deliver, and he will do exactly that now as he pulls out the incendiary, but they're going to go past that surely. Doesn't have time to go shotgun, but he's got the information. Needham is here, 10 seconds on the clock, easy shadow advantage as well, and Alex will fall soon afterwards. So that's a big test survived by EG as they tie the score with Eternal Fire.
All tied up. And EG slowly showing the confidence that we want to see from them. Even when they're losing Automatic early, they're finding ways back. And it's just been a completely different showing from Wiz as this half has gone on. I've loved it. He looks so much more confident. He's sticking around for these fights. He's making his presence felt on that AWP. And now look at the buy from Eternal Fire. Heading into the late stages of this second map of the series. They've gone all in on this buy, and it doesn't look pretty.
They must get a bomb plant at a minimum in this round. Then they can pull out the AKs in the next one. That has to be the minimum goal here, but obviously they're looking for the match point goal. Big hot flash comes in. Hex deploys his incendiary. Oh, they counter flashes. Indeed, Eternal Fire gets stuck on that push and slowed down. They do have more flashes though. More smokes, more mollies. And here is the second pump. This may be more problematic for EG, especially if they can't find an angle for this smoke. They've got a few smokes themselves. Can they cut the site in half? They may have to now, as Eternal Fire have the numbers. This is not going to be easy to deal with. Wiz is so blind. Down he goes. Smokes won't get up in time. This could be a catastrophe for EG. Eternal Fire charging straight in. 2 versus 3 for EG. Make it 1. Automatic all alone now. Eliminated through the smoke. Wiz just stayed there, completely blind. They sent it on him. And it was a complete disaster after that.
Oh, that is a real shame. The quick pop onto B can be a real backup strategy for a lot of teams on this map. It's what Eternal Fire lean into. And it's something that EG can't deal with this time. And now EG take their final timeout. And it's actually them that are somewhat weak in terms of the economy game. They've got a couple of rifles. Couple of premium rifles in there, but a FAMAS forced into the hands of Breeze. Nealand's not going to get something great either. Just when you feel like EG might be able to pull this one back, Eternal Fire grind out a couple of round wins. Just looking at the stats, Major has 11 flash assists on this map. He got a couple there in that round that were critical. And here we go, final round of regulation. We weren't sure we were going to get here, but now EG have to dig even deeper with this buy.
Automatic with the MP9, but they're pulling something funky out with this angle from Wiz. This could be really useful. You can see the boost to look through connector eventually as well, once the smoker's gone. There are some concerns. Automatic drops now. Wiz is on an island. He'll have to come off that shelf. Short B is compromised. We can see Major going up the ladder to get the bomb as well. And down goes Wiz. This looks like the end of the line for EG after a valiant effort coming back to be broken late through Monster by Eternal Fire. And through Monster goes Calix. That's the last rifler dealt with. Nealand with a CZ75 versus 4 riflers with AK-47s. Doesn't get much harder than this. Footsteps heard. They know where he is now. They'll combine together to get this last kill, I'm sure.
It's like a matter of time before Calix peaks up and confirms the victory for Eternal Fire. It is a 2-0 win in the end for them, but it came down to the wire on Overpass. They'll be happy with the result. EG definitely starting to show us some signs of promise there. However, they will still be frustrated. They just couldn't quite get it over the line, especially in some of those close moments at the end. I mean, that round 29 where that pop comes into B, I think that's the round they'll be frustrated at looking back on. But all in all, there's definitely signs of life there from EG, and that's what we wanted to see.
Yeah, finally. Something we've been looking at in the matches we have seen in this season of Pro League so far is some signs of life from Evil Geniuses. And certainly we saw that in the comeback mounted on the CT side there, just pipped at the post. It was always going to take one round to break them, especially with how many players were surviving some of the rounds day one. But it's a shame to go so far, be so close, and not quite make it to a third map, or at least overtime. So it's very unfortunate. But again, I think part of it is an examination of the state of EG at the moment and any progress we can see. And we've seen, again, some signs of life. As we said more than once, we look on paper, we can see Inferno and Overpass are the maps they've been playing, but we haven't really seen much of anything on Inferno. on Overpass, the CT side, there's definitely something to be had. I think there are some clear fixes that need looking at in terms of the setup they have with regards to connector and short B. But they won almost every round on that CT half, and that is quite something for EG at this point, I think.
Yeah, and they started to just look like the mentality was shifting there. And it really feels like they just need that one or two players to come through with some rounds where they make plays happen. They play with a bit of confidence. They, take a few pieces of initiative. And then the rest of the team started to fall into place. They all started to feed off of that energy once automatics started coming to life. So hopefully that's something they can look towards in the future. They do still obviously have further chances in the tournament too. This was the middle bracket matchup. There is still the last chance stage, and I believe that starts up on Saturday. So I think they have a bit of time, hopefully to prepare, hopefully to get some stuff sorted. But I believe we have someone ready for the interview. Have I got Major on the line? How we doing?
Hello guys. Long time no see. How are you?
We are.
Are you hear me?
Great. Thank you. Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay.
So it's been an interesting last year for you, Major. You've been like minus major, plus major, minus major, plus major. How has the year been up to this point, and how are things looking now? Because the whole team seems to be a lot more organized now than before.
Yeah, I also switched to Valorant. I also switched Valorant in 6 months, and I come back to CS. So yeah, it's kind of difficult. We try to be on the train. We try to make a Turkish team again on the top, like we did a few years ago. This is the objective, bringing back Turkish scene on the top of the CS:GO. So we try to play more discipline. We had some difficult now in T side on Overpass, but City side was really good. Anubis also was really good. I think we played really well. But on T side Overpass, I think we're not adapting as fast as if need. Yeah, we don't adapt to them. It took times, but I'm glad that we finished this game. So we won this game because last year, 3 months ago, we played the same match against Cloud9. We won like 12-3 again, but this time we lose on T side. Even we didn't win one round on T side. So today, actually, there is a little step up. I can tell like this. At least we win this match. We didn't choke in the end. So it's good. We need to work on it.
You guys started with a pretty tough draw with G2 yesterday. How did that game go for you? Because we looked at the kill deaths, and you guys were putting up some pretty good numbers in that loss to G2, which is maybe the hardest draw in the whole tournament. But how did that day go for you, and how are you feeling coming into today?
I think we play well against G2. Only the mid rounds, the clutch situation, we lack of experience, to be honest. They are all really top player, doing not a lot of mistakes. But yesterday, I think we play well, but all the small mistakes make us lose the game. On Anubis, we lose an echo, like there was Glock. We lose an echo with Glock. And then on Nuke, on City side, normally we play way better, but we didn't adapt also really fast on their play style. But on T side, we play really well, but it doesn't matter because in the end we lose. But I think we show a good face against G2. It's a positive things. And today we play on 4 side. We play 3 good side. Like we play T, CT, Anubis, and CT Overpass really well. But we play really bad T side on Overpass. So we need to work on it. I think we are in the, how can I say in English? Like we're going up as a team. I feel like there's still mistakes to fix. And with tryhard, with hard work, I think we can fix it because this team has potential. I believe my teammates. I believe myself also. So with work, I think we can do it.
Yeah, good to hear. I know you guys have been playing loads of official games recently. You've had like qualifiers. You already had an event in Malta. So have you had much time to actually, like reflect on all of these games? Because you guys have been grinding.
Yeah, we came here in Malta like 10 days ago. We played the Open Qualifier Major here. Like I think we play, not to be mistaken, with these 2 BO3, we play 40 maps in 10 days, in 12 days. It's a real lot. But we try our best. We try to analyze our enemy. Even this morning, like I can give you an example. This morning, I wake up at 7 to watch their match. I spend 3 hours watching their demos. So I just wake up at 7. I sleep 6 hours, 5 hours. So yeah, it's kind of difficult in this tempo. But like I said in my interview, we're a professional player. We win money from that. I think we need to do that. Every person in the world want to be in the same position as me or as a player here, because I think we have the best job in the world, for me, from my point of view. So we need to be always motivate, always professional, and give all the best we can, because one day it's gonna be over.
Damn, man, that was so poignant. I'm like, I don't even know if I want to ask another question after that. I don't know, James, have you got anything?
No, I think you guys set a great example for the Turkish scene, and we really like the organization we saw, especially on Anubis, and how hard you made life for the CTs on the B-Bomb site was really fun to watch. So
thank you.
Wish you guys good luck in the rest of the mid-bracket, and good luck in your next matches and so on. Thanks for the interview.
Thank you, guys. Really, thank you. See you soon, guys. Take care.
And with that, we can have a look at the updated brackets and see how things are looking. That's the only game we have on the B stream today. We've got plenty of action, though, on the A stream, so make sure you head over there later on. But for Group A, Eternal Fire will move forward in the mid-bracket. Of course, they have sent Evil Geniuses to the lower bracket, which really is last chance saloon. We finally saw some sparks of hope from them in this game, but they're going to have to continue that in the lowest part of the bracket. MIBR currently leading IHC 1-0 in the other side. And IHC, again, at Katowice, they were the gatekeepers. They stopped everybody else from winning, and maybe the same will happen here at ESL Pro League.
Yeah, they're also playing that second map right now, and it is incredibly close. So definitely looks like IHC are proving they're still going to be competitors at this Pro League, but MIBR clearly here to play themselves. I know MIBR have got a couple of players who we're very excited about. I mean, obviously, Henny's on that team, but they've got this new kid, Insani, who looks very exciting as a prospect. And I feel like the Brazilian scene is just going to get better and better. Here's the lower bracket. Only Evil Geniuses here for now. But they will be joined by one more team once that IHC versus MIBR series concludes. And again, some positive signs there from Evil Geniuses. Hopefully, they can continue to improve ahead of that lower bracket, because it is a long way back if you want to make that lower bracket run.
Indeed. Nightmare mode has been activated for Evil Geniuses. We wish them the best of luck. But for the B stream, that is the broadcast coming to a close. Head over towards A and check out the guys and girls in the studio and all the action over there. See you next time.
Wear your passion. Share your passion. Wherever, whenever. Gaming is a lifestyle. Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
The bell tolls for Cologne. This cathedral, a cathedral that is stacked from the earth to the heavens with the greatest of all the fans, the most passionate.
I can't label like none of these guys. They hit me once and I'm cutting the ties. I was so low, but I'm back on the rise. It's real. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I will soon, soon. Knew as a child, back in the womb. Oh, told her step back, I need my room, room. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom. I'm hopping now I gotta go. I'm looking back, they not even close. I had a 4, now I need a ghost. I got a wave like I'm on the coast. Same ones are doubting, I dare the show. So way that I'm ballin', they think I'm a pro. I'm getting sick by the money I gross. They saying whoa, I told them all what this is. I told them all I don't miss. Said it's my time, look at this shit on my wrist. And when they shootin' this breaks, I'm going in a new gear, gotta shift. I cannot stick to the script, I cannot wait. Watch how I get it and flip. It's just how I'm doing this shit and I'm gone. Just how I'm doing this shit and I'm gone. Ayy, just how I'm doing this shit and I'm gone.
Hand on the game, we are not playing the same. No, we not looking to change. Hand on the wheel, they think we lacking the drive. Boy, you should stay in your lane. Foot on the gas, I do not care if I crash, long as I stick to the plan. What is the plan? I cannot lie for none of you, long as I know who I am. I'm in control, God got his hand on my soul. And if I land and he got the remote, made it as far as a miracle, miracle. Anything less is cynical, cynical. Staying true, I can't lie in your interview. Tell the truth while you lie with your interview. And your acting is so hypocritical. In control, nothing more, this is minimum. Can't stop now, I'ma grind till I'm ghost. I thank God how he held me down the most. Can't stop now, gotta grind till I'm ghost. Gotta thank God how he held me down the most.
Got the whole team on my back. I ain't worried about no stats. No time to compete with so-and-so. No time to compete with so-and-so. I ain't got a brag when I'm in my bag. No, no, no. Been through a lot, don't know the half. No, no, no. When I'm on God, I'ma lose control. Hand on the game, I'ma lose control. It ain't my fault that I'm in control. When I'm on God, I'ma lose control.
On a mission, on the move, gotta go, no, no. Ain't no time to waste my time, we don't slow down. You can have me in dimensions, big dog in dimensions. We be aiming for the fences, I'm in a different dimension. Why y'all be riding the bench? Y'all could just cut through the tension. Graduated from the trenches, no cap and gone. I ain't never need a handout, on my 2 feet, I'ma stand out. I ain't never take a loss now, ain't gon' start now at the top now, and I know. Can't stop now, I'ma grind till I'm ghost. I thank God how he held me down the most. Can't stop now, gotta grind till I'm ghost. Gotta thank God how he held me down the most.
Got the whole team on my back. I ain't worried about no stats. No time to compete with so-and-so. No time to compete with so-and-so. I ain't got a brag when I'm in my bag. No, no, no.